podcast introduction.
What do you think about the meaning behind these decks?
Yeah. What do you think?
Right.
What philosopher somehow influenced the creation of these decks? Let's see here.
I find it interesting that a lot of these I guess a lot of these players just like these new mats because these players, being as high level as they are, they definitely have their own mats, but a lot of people have chosen to forego using those, just to use these nice, pretty new ones, I guess. Aside from a couple people with their Continental finalists from last year, just using the provided ones. So I thought that was a little odd.
We got a POW in hand.
Okay,
and
POW.
he looks like Joshua?
Yes.
Is that how you say the name? Okay. Looks like Joshua is going first. He has two troublemakers. I think two popping corn and a POW.
I can't quite make that out. We'll see here.
It's a little difficult. I'm pretty confident that that's what those are. Unless this is purple. I assume this is the mono orange build, and maybe I'm incorrect. Because again, we don't have name of thing and other color. We have some words.
Let's see. It was I had the name of yes. So now go moon 1,000 years by banish time. Once again, the classic deck.
See when I hear that,
Oh wait,
I'm like,
actually,
so
that means I have these names backwards at the moment, I believe.
Whoops.
Because
Yeah.
they had the mains opposite a second ago.
Yeah.
So Matt,
okay. Yeah, we gotta switch them around here.
Matt is on our left side here. Let me fix that real quick. Alrighty, there we go. There we go.
Okay, so we got a paper twi turn one, or yeah, that's what I assume. Or turn missed
two?
a little bit of things here.
Oh, okay, DJ might have gone first and just
Oh
passed
yeah,
it right
yeah,
away, so
that's
we
true.
didn't
All
catch
right,
that.
we
So,
mix. Not only are we mixing up the players, we're also mixing up the.
Looks like he's
turn
setting a face down resource right there. I think that's what's
yeah,
happening.
that's a resource.
He's got that paper twi monster at home. Tapped. Not tapped. Not a thing. Don't listen to us. Okay. Not playing that troublemaker.
It is
after all,
technically, it's not illegal, but it is technically improper to not just put a token on a card.
That is true. That's an interesting thing about
Thanks,
this game.
Wizards of the Coast, for copyrighting a physical state,
Having a card be sideways.
an
That's
instruction to indicate a state of a
interesting.
game.
There is an exhaustion token on that Twilight.
Yeah.
Let's see. So
It's
we're up to
not-
4-3 down to 3-8.
it's
We
not
got
my
that troublemaker on the board there. We weren't able to tell which one that was that went down there.
Oh, you discard. Yeah, I did discard. Or, yeah. All right. Okay, so I think what happened is Matt drew up a little bit and then discarded. So I mean, Luna flipped. So he's now striking his
Drew up
opponent's
to
hand.
drew up to discard to go over hand. And that allowed him to pay that one to flip his main. Looks like Joshua is currently dividing up his hand to be attacked by that Luna. So that when that Luna flips, the opponent will divide their hand into even or uneven piles. And the Luna owner gets to banish one of those piles. And we've actually, it looks like we just got deck lists here for each of those as well. Let me see if I can't pull these up.
Again, I really do appreciate Joshua's starting problem, or his problem deck. Fire One Ready, I think, maybe a little bit questionable, but just the kind of innovative thinking that it takes to go like, you know what? I don't confront my own problem anyways, so I'm just gonna run the good ones.
Pretty interesting. Okay, so we do have deck lists for each of them here. On our left side for our DJ, here, let's check our game here for a second. Still got our Troublemaker. Got his hand back. We're drawing back up. Pinky's Epiphany on the draw. We see a Twinkle Shine come out.
Twinkle Dinkle.
Twinkle Dinkle.
All right. So he's gonna block that Troublemaker from flipping.
Popping it right away.
Maybe
to
he's
put
afraid
a
of the Nightmare
Chrysalis
Moon.
on the board.
I'm not sure.
2 bonus, 7 power, epic.
Yeah, interesting choice on his end, and looks like he's like clipped wings immediately gonna do
Clipped
this.
wings on that Twilight. Try to stop that AT generation
Just
as soon
what I
as
wanted.
possible. Stop that Meticulous. Popping that Twinkle Shine to drop that epic will keep that other Troublemaker from flipping. We'll keep Matt's Troublemaker from flipping.
Yeah, I still think that might be a little bit questionable. It's like what ground does he really? I guess he's afraid of a Nightmare Moon,
Probably a
a
Nightmare
fear.
Moon, I imagine.
I guess
think
that's
he
the
doesn't
fear.
want to lose his whole hand this
But
early on.
the issue is like Orange is pretty good at just destroying Troublemakers and getting points. So I don't know if I would have done that myself, because like now Matt can just be like, okay, well I'll just set
farm
up to
that, set
destroy
up, and
that.
then farm the second one. That's very possible.
Yeah. Pow
Getting
doesn't
some
fear,
exhaust.
which makes him again a really good card.
Really scary choice. We got Portal in hand, 2 Pinky's Epiphanies, it looks like.
That's not a bad hand.
I'm not able to tell what else is back there. We just drew into a Rainbow Shine.
Not bad.
So we'll be able to reduce costs of events like those Pinky's Epiphanies. Reducing the costs of those cards that already reduce cost does open up a lot of moves for him down the line. He doesn't quite have the friends to take advantage of the cost reduction on those Pinky's Epiphanies quite yet. There's not really any targets for its destruction, so we probably won't be seeing anything there for a little bit still. We're seeing it exhausted right away. Reduce the cost of an event. We'll see what comes of that. Probably doing that just in case it does lose its ability, in case it also gets clipped wings, in case a limestone comes out and it gets blocked. Seeing another villain come out up top.
Yeah, we're seeing I think some very meticulous play on Matt's behalf, or yeah, on Matt's side. I believe he's a veteran player. He knows what's
his
going
name's
on.
been around for a while.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He wants to be and he wants to win, so he's probably going to play as cautiously as possible.
With no time limit today, there is going to be a lot of slower play, a lot of really thinking through your moves, really thinking through what you think your opponent has in hand, what they can do, what you think they will do to respond, how much AT they'll have after X, Y, and Z response. So it's going to lead to a lot of mind games. I think a lot more plays that are going to try to bait responses out of the opponent so that bigger plays can be made later on, because there will be a later on because of that lack of a time limit.
So I'm wondering, I imagine that Joshua sticks his or uses the, what's his name, the Shining Armor, the Crystal Shining Armor.
Yes.
I don't know what the subtitle is, but I imagine he uses that to farm.
That is very
to be able to take out his own
possible. We're
epics.
seeing
And there's-
Minuet come out at home.
I think that's his only copy, and that's his.
Let me see
yeah,
here. We
let's
can
double
check that.
Yeah, and I think that's just like a tag.
Yes, he has a single copy of that Minuet fast forward. That Minuet being able to be exhausted for 2 AT, it will banish a friend, and that friend will re-enter the board at the beginning of the next turn.
Oh, he's going to use the portal to.
He's portaling his own Twilight, basically, so that he can get that back. Because that Twi left the board, that Clipp's
Very
Wings
smart.
is removed, and that Twi does re-enter the field without
And-
it. So it gets its abilities back, it gets that Meticulous, that AT generation.
And he moved it up to the Queen Chrysalis, so then if it so happens that his opponent's going to attempt to challenge the Queen Chrysalis, he gets an extra AT.
That prepared.
Yeah. So definitely some smart play there. All right, Changeling Mimics. That
Seeing
is,
Mimics come out, probably going to be called on events.
Yeah.
Pink Purple being very event heavy.
yeah, that's not something Joshua wants to see. I'm wondering what I feel like Matt's probably waiting for something, probably a carbo loader. Maybe he's waiting for the Appaloosa. I'm not sure, but he's again, just playing very patiently. He's not doing anything that he thinks is too much more than he needs to. And that's just another quality of a high caliber player is patience. Getting antsy, we've seen it. We've seen it to where a player got antsy, wanted to get do some flair, and then it backfired on him.
Yeah, and I think it ended up costing him that game. One thing that we're probably going to be seeing a little bit of too is with this kind of slower play and against a deck that can attack the hand as hard as Matt's can. If a Nightmare Moon comes out, or if if he's able to turn that Luna back over, I don't know if he has a method to do that. We can check here in just a moment. I am not actually seeing a Chaos Capital in that deck. So yeah, no, he's just got the one flip on his main, so he doesn't have to be quite as afraid of that. Mostly just the Nightmare Moon. If Joshua ends up with too many of his useful answers, if he plays too patiently, too safely, and a lot of those useful destruction options do end up in his hand, and he does get Nightmare Mooned, those options will end up in the grave. He will not be able to use them, so he's got to kind of be careful and use them while he can.
Is there a... Oh, wait, wrong one. Does Joshua have any recursionary options?
I don't know that I saw any juggles or anything like that.
Do we see any F-stops? No? Yeesh. That's
Nope.
actually scary, because then it could be potentially in Matt's favor, and Joshua needs to be careful with how many cards he draws. Because if he burns up enough of his stuff, just to kind of fight it, then eventually Joshua could just play Nightmare Moon, and then he's in a great state.
Very true.
So as far as a long game goes...
That's definitely something Matt's going to be looking for here. Drag it out as long as possible. If he can just survive, if he can survive these answers, if he can attack Joshua's hand, eventually he'll be left without a whole lot. It's pretty much just that Pinky's Epiphany as his only option to get anything back, I think.
Yep. So it's recursionary options. Pardon. Recursionary options are always pretty important in almost any deck. I believe that's probably why the Wonelli is in the orange one. Just because being able to reuse a card is really good.
Very true. I think those Wonellis are probably going to end up making a pretty significant difference. If he can get those in hand, when those Pinky's Epiphanies do come out and are able to attack some of Matt's friends, if he's able to get those back, pretty much kind of invalidates those Pinky's Epiphanies, and there won't be a whole heck of a lot to do once he's destroyed them once and they just come right back. So yeah, the longer that Matt can drag this out, I think that will end up being better for him. We see we have a yellow Parasprites on the board there that will slowly attack Matt's options in his hand as well. So he's gonna want to try to get some of his key cards onto the board while he can, I think.
I agree. I apologize. I think that what we're going to... Like, the Yellow Parasprite is really nice for Joshua's situation, because if you're striking your opponent's hand, then they're going to end up having to draw to play the game at all, or you're just going to be able to trample all over them. So...
And that's AT wasted, and that's options gone. So options limited, AT wasted, and information given away.
Yeah, and if there's that kind of long game,
interesting.
I'm expecting to draw through my deck, if that's the expectation that some players might be having, then making your opponent discard is actually pretty great. It's like, okay,
really
DJ, well, you're going to get a little spoiled, and then I'm going to really long game you, and then Nightmare Moon you at the end, and then I'm going to have a great board state, and you will not.
So one thing that we did just see is we did see that Shining Armor come out to try to farm that Mimics, or try to kill that Mimics. Immediately afterwards, we saw a dip in the pool dropped, and a token come out, I assume, of that Shining Armor. It was put up at the Mimics, but one thing that he didn't realize, I think, is that even though he was trying to kill the Mimics, events were what were called as the card type to be taxed by that Mimic. So that dip in the pool, instead of having its normal cost an additional 3, and he did not have the action tokens to be able to play that. So rather than having the 2 Shining Armors to try to fight off that Mimic, it is just the 1.
Okay, so did he retract that play then?
Yeah,
because he wasn't able to do it. Okay,
we
don't have to take that back. All right, good. paying attention there.
Even so, even if he is able to kill that with that POW at home, if that Mimics goes down, he will score the point at least, which is obviously a good thing for Joshua. But it can just come right back, so it will continue to sit there and haunt him.
That's one of the really powerful things about POW is that what are you gonna do? You know, you get rid of that troublemaker, sure, but it's orange, so eventually you'll get a carbo loader, and then you're not going to be able to defeat that thing, and it's still going to be around.
Yeah, you might give your opponent a couple points while you're saving it, but then eventually it just becomes undefeatable, and a couple points don't matter if the other person's just sitting there scoring behind their own troublemaker for the rest of the game.
So far as function goes, it's almost recursionary as well.
That's very true.
But it might seem maybe a tad boring. Like it's Matt, you've only played like one card, or three cards. You've only played 3 cards, Matt. But really, it's like, what else do you need? Or that's one of the great things about Orange is that you don't have to play a lot of cards. You can lose a few cards and you'll still be able to fight because it's just so foundational.
One thing that is interesting is as long as
here?
we do have a fight.
All right, it looks like it's in Joshua's favor at the moment.
Looks like we've got 5, and I imagine 9 cards in hand, probably. So that looks like 14 to Matt's 9 at the moment. Cards in hand might be closer to 7 or 8, so it might be anywhere from around 12 to 14 to 9 there. Matt may have an option.
Right. Nope. So we're going to see that POW exhaust, and we're going to see that Changeling Mimics just take a little nap.
So let's see. Joshua does score that 1 point. He will probably be able to confront his opponent's problem there as well.
In which case he has the point, and he can time out. No, he can't.
And Mimics will be coming back. For that starting problem, we've got infiltrating the hive, since we're having a little bit of trouble seeing there. That is what it was.
We got a beat down there.
That's
a very scary option.
And he might be able to. He might just go ahead and get rid of the POW now. He is able to do that.
Yep. It looks like Matt is weighing out his options here. He's like, do I spare? Do I lose the POW? Because thus far, it's looking like his board state is looking to where Matt can no longer play the way he has been playing. It seems like it's just like you have to discard. I have DJ now, so because Orange is relatively exhaust heavy itself,
that breakdown will do a lot of damage there.
Yeah, it is an extremely powerful card.
What Matt was probably looking to do, let me see, just let me make sure this card is indeed in his deck. I imagine he had a bailout in hand. He does have 3 bailouts in his deck, so yeah, he likely had a bailout in hand. He would have been able to exhaust that breakdown for a couple turns the instant it came out. But even had he done that, he would have saved his POW. But as soon as that Mimics comes back up and he were to save the Mimics again, then the POW would go down at that point because that breakdown would be unexhausted again.
Correct. I think. Another good thing when it comes to just playing kind of. An Appaloosa. That hurts a little bit. I mean, you know that Joshua has options. I don't think Joshua running gyros? Because if not, then he has to dig.
I don't think I saw any in the.
What's its resource removal? I'm curious.
If any, let's see.
Yeah. One would assume resource dismissal is a necessity in high level play.
Mayor. That was it. Yeah, we were talking
that's
about
right. Yeah. He how many does he have?
2 of them.
Two of them.
For those who don't know, that Mayor that we're talking about, a 2 power, 2 cost, 2 rec purple friend. When its owner plays an event, you may exhaust it, correct?
Yeah.
You may exhaust it to banish a resource. I believe an opposing resource. So that friend is his only resource destruction.
Okay, and so that Appaloosa probably still hurts because Matt would actually have a few options to slow down the mayor and then also get rid of it.
That is true.
So while, the trade-off of being able to go like, okay, I'm going to I'm going to use a body as opposed to an event or something, is that bodies are also one of the more vulnerable kinds of.
That is true.
Friends are the most vulnerable card type in the game.
If you've got a resource destruction event, there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do to stop events. You can tax them with Mimics. You can have Wake Up Call out, a resource in white that can stop events before they're played. That's about it.
Yeah.
You can tax them with a couple of cards, but there's not a whole heck of a lot. Octavia Harsh Judge, if you name the event, which is not frequently a card type that is named with Harsh Judge in my experience.
Yeah, I feel like
Meticulous thing is gonna take that first card.
so. I think another thing about Matt, because I'm pretty sold at this point that he is probably trying to do a really long game win. I think he's going to be like, okay, you know what I'm going to do? If I can slow this game down enough, just enough, I can make it to where I can play a Captain Jack and you don't have much of a deck or a hand. And those are the options I have available to me. So I'm going to abuse that fact, and I'm going to be and I think 2 Captain Jacks, I believe. Or 3.
Let me see if we can check it. I think we discovered that it was 3.
We keep kind of going
yes.
like, it's really nice to have this deck list. At the same time, we're taking our eyes off the game. 2 and 3. Believe.
We're seeing 3. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he actually has, he could just be like, board reset. Okay, I reestablished my board. Board reset again then.
That would be a really strong option at the moment. We're seeing a lot of friends on Joshua's side, so a Captain Jack would be pretty devastating. Additionally, it would get rid of one of those troublemakers, free up one of those problems. At the moment, though, it looks like that slow game is backfiring on Matt a little bit. As Joshua is able to kind of keep scoring, and I'm sorry, he's been sitting at 1 point on our screen here. He's had 2 for a couple turns here now. Matt is just going to keep getting plagued by that yellow Parasprite that he has not taken down yet, and that will continue to remove his options. We've lost the Smooze. We've lost that Appaloosa. That Appaloosa being a resource that is able to protect his friends with 4 or more power. Not a hard thing for Orange to do. A lot of its friends just having 4 power naturally. We are seeing that Nightmare Moon come out. So that Nightmare Moon is going to override that Mimics, going to override that yellow Parasprite. So they're kind of both in the same situation now. They're both going to be having their hands attack. Joshua having had a lot of his tools in his hands. One of his resource destruction cards. He only had 2 copies. 2 Pinkies Epiphanies.
It's like, here's my Napcakes.
Napcakes, not the most helpful. Food Singing Barrel to re-enter his color. Not sure if that one's going to be super impactful.
And wow, I think that's the Captain Jack, and he might play it.
Yeah, we've got that Captain Jack in hand. He does have the Wreck for it. He does have the AT for it. If he does drop that Captain of the Seven Seas, that will pretty much entirely board wipe Joshua, leaving him in a pretty poor position.
I don't know if it's juicy enough. Yeah, I guess it's not juicy enough for him to play the Captain Jack.
At the same time, with that Nightmare Moon on the board,
did he draw
might
second?
Want to play it while he can.
I
believe he is actually filling up his hand to reduce the chances of that Nightmare Moon making him randomly discard that Captain Jack.
Yeah.
Still not guaranteed, but, you always want to have the numbers in your favor.
Yeah, definitely. So, let's see. There's actually been... there's at least 18... Like, if I were to guesstimate, 18, 20 cards out of Joshua's deck.
I believe so. We've got 4 to 5 banished from that Luna flipping early on. We just lost about 7 cards because of that Nightmare Moon. We had a few cards played before that, so we've got about 15 to 20 cards in the grave. There's about 6 cards on his field right now. We are seeing a study session. Matt's friends will be entering the board exhausted, which makes them easy targets for DJ Breakdown, which is able to destroy exhausted friends. That is currently frightened. All it takes, though, is 2 AT, and that's right back in the game.
All right,
we're seeing him lose a
Rainbow
Shine.
That's a good one for Matt.
Cost reduction for events is no longer a thing there.
I think... I'm not sure here. Because... that's what I was going to say. An interesting thing about Meticulous with a long game is that if you really find that you're putting cards on the bottom of the deck, not just because it's not the one that you want, but because it's useless for the fight. If you're doing that and it's stacking up and someone's really trying to long game you, you'll
just end up with a pile of not helpful cards towards the end. One card that I was seeing in Joshua's deck list is Utterly Drained. He has 2 copies of Utterly Drained, which will do absolutely nothing in this fight.
It's a dead...
a resource, a 2-cost resource that removes the ability of the opponent's main, which is nothing, because it was a one-shot, it already happened. We're seeing Jest Clowning Around coming out. A dilemma, when it is confronted, you may replace another problem.
Moving minuet. So he's paying a lot of AT to do that move.
Making sure that he's going to be able to confront it. He does not want to be stopped here.
Now, Matt did draw into a lot of options, and he sees the attempted confront. Let's see if Matt may have an answer and maybe a troublemaker to follow up. Nope.
He's not going to respond to that. He's having his problem replaced. That Nightmare Moon will be leaving the board.
And we have the Troubleshoes card. I am actually... I'm happy to see that resource in Matt's deck. Just to comment it while we're looking through deck lists here. Where you play it on your opponent's main, and it... Or you can play it on a character. It's not exclusive to mains, but it leaves it exhausted. The resource is just like, if it has 3 or more power, it's staying exhausted. That's really, really strong. I always thought it was a really strong card.
Able to turn off DJ, able to turn off other mains that exhaust.
It can ruin farm if you play it soon enough.
Can do some pretty strong damage to
not
Carbo
ruin
Loader.
It. Yeah.
Can turn off Limestone, can turn off POW. A lot of orange cards that orange card is susceptible to. Very
Metal
Man.
Yeah, very Metal Man's color.
So we're seeing a lot of AT on Matt's side. We're seeing a lot of options in hand. We are seeing no cards on the field except that face-down Troublemaker that has been there since turn 1. Turn 1.
It's actually looking kind of rough for Matt now because with that Jester, Joshua could just sit there and confront that and then flip things away. He's like, you can't farm while this is sitting here. You have to challenge, but I can dodge.
We're seeing Farm Formare come out, which is interesting.
He's digging. I believe he is looking for that Breezy Flower.
I think that is true.
All right, let's see if he gets it. Nobody got an Appaloosa.
We're seeing an Appaloosa,
That's
so that is
one.
useful for him.
Yeah. That'll at least keep some of his bigger things safe, and that's kind of what he wants, because I think at this point what Matt has to do is he has to put the sufficient power and keep that sufficient power on that dilemma, so then eventually a face-off will happen.
Yeah.
This dilemma is a really big problem for Matt, and at least I guess is his strategy at the moment.
That problem, again, being able to replace another problem every time it's confronted, and with Joshua having that Rainbow Shine that can exhaust at immediate speed, he is able to confront and then exhaust it after he is confronted, so that if his opponent confronts, there is not a face-off. If Matt leaves enough power on the opposite side and Joshua wants to confront it, that will trigger a single face-off, getting rid of that dilemma. So that will remove it, but in order for that to happen, Matt has to be confronting on the other side as well.
So, and the thing is, he can't just confront it and force a face-off, because Rainbow Shine allows Joshua to dodge. And he can't dodge forever, because he'll have to just outright avoid, confronting it.
Yeah.
I mean, he does have that luxury, because then he can destroy the things that might be a problem, and then he can confront it again.
True. Oh, get that extra score on his side as well that I forgot to put there a moment ago.
Yes. So I don't know if I agree with Matt playing the Applejack over to that problem. I think I would have preferred... I would have probably just gone for that just to put the pressure there at all.
Fair enough.
Because I don't think that Factory Jack is doing anything at that problem.
Correct. Formare.
Yeah, the Formare. Yeah. I'm not used to Farm Formare. I haven't seen that card in a long time.
Let's see. What are we seeing?
I do like that card.
Did a Destiny Drain come out? What's going on at the moment here? I missed something. I'm just seeing. Okay, yeah, it looks like a Destiny Drain.
Yeah, it's looking like.
And we hit
he's
Changeling Mimics. We're looking through the deck there, so yeah. That looks like that Changeling Mimic was Destiny drained. All 3 copies of those will be banished. Another thing that I noticed is with Joshua burning through so many of his options so quickly, if this game goes on long enough, he may end up without a deck.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Which leaves you, unable to flip.
Yes.
Specifically. So that will make it very easy for Matt to farm anything he challenges with anything.
It's true. Actually, targeting those troublemakers could also be beneficial. Because if Matt was able to just play a bunch of troublemakers when Joshua may have no deck, again, very, very long game thinking here. then he would just be able to, I'm going to sit and confront and you can't do anything because you don't have recursion. Because again, every small element in this game gives you a huge benefit.
Very true.
Being able to remove a troublemaker is important. Being able to recur is important because there are certain things that certain players may be going for, and you won't be able to deal with the situation, or at least not very easily.
While you can, however you can.
Yes. I think Joshua is probably going to attempt. Where's that beatdown, by the way? Is that the feared?
It's that feared friend. It got feared by that Nightmare Moon a moment ago.
Right, Joshua's drawing additional cards. So again, I think that's something Matt wants to see. Obviously,
he doesn't want his opponent to have more options, but he does want those cards to be gone.
Yeah.
We're still seeing a dip in the pool in hand. We have an Ursa Vanquisher, I think that was.
Let me see if he's got those in the deck there. That's what it looked like to me, at least.
Yep, we're seeing one copy of Ursa Vanquisher in hand.
So, actually, Matt might be happy to see that Nightmare Moon gone, just because now he knows like those Captain Jacks and such are safe.
True. Which is something.
Okay, so that's what Joshua's going for now. He's going to start replacing his problem. He's going to probably try and go for the things that he has been before. If he gets a blackmail, if he gets even if he gets that's probably not what he wants to see. It's still not a bad card though.
A couple of problems that we know he has.
Ready.
The blackmail, like you were saying.
Blackmail and fire when ready. Joshua has the ability to explode. I don't know if Matt's aware of it because maybe Matt didn't see Joshua's deck.
Maybe he didn't really study that deck list a whole heck of a lot either. It's hard to pay attention to the problem deck. Not a whole lot of people do that.
Yeah, something that a lot of people miss, but it is relevant. It is definitely. Especially with something like that gesture, I'm gaining a new appreciation. I can really appreciate Joshua's deck building.
I really like it. I think this is an interesting build.
I think I think there's sparks of brilliance in it. I'm just like, wow, these
okay.
That is exactly okay.
That is very much a card
the confession.
that won.
Yeah, that is the confession. And it's like, I know what I'm going to try and do. So now what Matt needs to do is get rid of that dilemma.
Absolutely. That
Captain Jack. That's a good start.
Alrighty.
All right. So
that Starlight is going to be attacking both the tops of both players' decks every turn. That will very quickly leave Joshua without any options.
Joshua's he's hesitating because he's like, this beatdown. Also, Joshua did lose a lot of his smaller recursionary elements.
True. And he pretty much has to. Oh, that is
wow, great,
horrifying.
Actually, that's
that
really
Captain
nice.
Jack getting rid of all of Joshua's purple except for that shining armor. That is why he held on to it. It was pretty much the only thing that was offering him purple. With that Clipped Wings coming out, all of Shining Armor's power comes from cards in hand, and that power is provided by that ability. So by Clipped Wingsing that ability away, that Shining Armor has 0 power.
That is devastating.
There is no purple, no friends. That Starlight is attacking the top of his deck. He cannot enter half of his deck right now. He needs to get cards on the board, but he cannot do that.
Wow, actually, does he have means of entering purple?
I don't think we can check here.
Check for a Singing Barrel. Because at this point, if that's true, that is
There are Singing Barrels in the deck. We're not sure how. There's
this
at
is
least
punishment for greed.
I believe there are at least 2 gone. He's actually. I'm certain he's
checked.
looking for his barrels. There's one
like,
gone
how many
right
barrels
now.
Are gone? Wow.
There's only one barrel gone right now.
Joshua is at least he has the situational awareness. This is a very powerful play on Matt's part. Very brilliant and inopportune for Joshua. Joshua. I think he just got a little too focused in that he's like, I need to be able to continue to confront this problem, and
he does not have the rec for that Ursa Vanquisher he's trying to play. His only way to enter that purple now is to hope for one of those Singing Barrels. His Shining Armor providing no purple power because of its lost ability. That Starlight may be sniping away his cards in the near future. We've got the Singing Barrel in hand.
He had one.
So he will be able to re-enter his color.
So he's able to recover, and he's able to play the Ursa Vanquisher, confront the Gesture, and get rid of the Starlight Glimmer.
So he's going to shove that Captain Jack home, possibly, or just looks like he's just confronting.
He's getting rid of the Starlight Glimmer.
Yeah,
he's like, no. But unfortunately, that also leaves him open.
That's true.
Oh, wait.
No troublemakers on the board.
Does he have any AT?
Not at the moment.
Okay, then yeah, he's losing the Jester. That's his sacrifice.
That is true.
From that play.
That just clowning around will be single face offed at to make sure that he cannot continue to flip his own problem deck.
Granted, yeah, okay, Matt is aware. All right, because I'm like, granted, Matt is very aware of the power of that dilemma that Joshua is running, because we saw it earlier on. It can be devastating.
Alrighty, so we got another confront on
2.5
Joshua's
hours.
side a moment ago.
What was
for
it?
3 games.
For 3 games? Oh, okay. So there is a time limit.
So yeah, we do have a time limit. It looks like they're going to try to round it to around 2.5 hours for the 3 games. That leaves a little less than an hour per game. We're seeing clipped wings come out on that Ursa Vanquisher. So those friends will not be able to be pushed home. Joshua does still have his purple at the very least, though. He has re-entered that color with that barrel into that.
We see
into that Ursa
we
Vanquisher.
see Matt get his first point. Oh, and that Jester flips. Unfortunate. Yeah. Jester was like, yeah, flip the other one. This is rough. It is still not looking good. So it looks like it's looking like I guessed correctly in that
going
Matt
for
is
that long
going
game.
for the really long game.
Who won that face-off just now? Were we able to catch that?
I believe, yeah, based on that scorecard, I believe Matt won it.
Okay. All right, so we're seeing a closer game. Matt in a much better position than he was before. Joshua not in the greatest position anymore. A lot of his deck is in the grave. A lot of it is in hand. Does not have a lot of his options out. We're seeing a paper toy come out, so he'll get a little bit of that AT generation.
He pays it
meticulous
for
back.
free, which is really nice.
That is true.
All right, he's getting rid of the Captain Jack.
So that Twilight having its cost reduced by 1 by that problem. Exhausting it to gain the other 1 AT that he spent on it back right away, so pretty much a free play there. DJ to draw. And he's going to pass turn there. Another thing that just clowning around, since we didn't quite explain it, that was allowing him to do, he has Firewind ready in his problem deck. A problem with 5 bonus points, because it is almost impossible to confront naturally. However, if a face-off were to occur at Matt's problem and that dilemma that was out, that just clowning around, the highest bonus of any problem on the board is the reward for winning that face-off. So while he would have scored only 2 points for each of those confronts, the reward for winning that face-off would have been 5, and that's something that he was probably digging for with that just clowning around. Not the problems he was looking for coming out, though. He had halfway across Equestria for the first one. Starlight flipped onto it. He wanted to get rid of that Starlight, flipping into that
I believe
Secret Tablet
I believe Matt has a Nightmare Moon in his hand, if I remember. And so what Matt's probably thinking now is, okay, you go ahead and keep playing all those friends. That's fine, because I'm going to play a Captain Jack, and eventually I'm going to play this Nightmare Moon and win this game.
Looks like Matt is very much trying to just completely rid Joshua of his deck. Everything on the board. We've still got Captain Jacks left. We've still got Nightmare Moon left. Definitely still a game.
Yeah, definitely still a game. Appaloosa.
We're seeing Appaloosa come out.
So he doesn't want to lose what he might be playing next. Limestone. Excellent. All right.
Limestone probably turning off that paper toy. Maybe the DJ. I think Matt actually will keep DJ's ability active, though. I think he wants Joshua to have as many cards in hand as possible.
Draw. Go ahead.
I think Joshua now realizing the position that he's in. Meticulousing away 1.
But
okay, I guess it was the DJ that was turned off. He would not have had that meticulous if
yellow Parasprite. So
yellow Parasprite will be hurting Matt a bit.
Yeah. Fortunately, Matt has Limestone and probably the flip advantage.
So he may be able to just destroy this Parasprite right away, score that point.
He's using a DJ. He's
So Limestone had to have hit something. The other 2 friends are clipped wings. I'm not sure if it was
it had
the
to
Twy
have
or the
been a
DJ.
paper Twy.
He did meticulous at the beginning of his turn, however.
Oh.
The card he drew just now with the
unless that
or
was
at
a
the beginning of his
misplay.
turn. So yeah, there might have been a little bit of a misplay there. Either that meticulous shouldn't have gone off.
Shouldn't we inform the people?
They can hear us now actually.
Oh, they can.
Or
okay.
Or that DJ should not have been able to be exhausted, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to turn off the DJ at this point. I think Matt has a really
We're actually seeing Joshua
he's
panic
digging?
draw,
Oh,
which
that's really scary.
he's going to end up throwing a lot of these cards away
Yep.
due to hand limit. And if a Nightmare Moon comes out, that could be game ending for Joshua.
What is his?
We're looking through the grave. I think he's hoping for those Nightmare Moons. He may be
There's
searching
two Nightmare
for.
Moons, so he's just like, okay, there's two.
If there is a second Destiny Drain in Joshua's deck, he may be digging for that. It was just the one. It was just the one Destiny
Just
Drain.
one Destiny Drain.
And that Changeling Mimics is gone. So he has
Now-
no ways to get rid of that Nightmare Moon.
The thing about it is, actually, this is really interesting. Matt may not be able to do this strategy as efficiently because I think Joshua fell into a trap. I think Joshua
so.
was not thinking that Matt was going to attempt this. But can it work again?
Joshua throwing away a Singing Barrel. Hopefully he has one in hand, because if another Captain Jack comes out, I'm not sure if all three of them are gone yet. If another one comes out, he will lose access to purple permanently.
Well, no, he'll
does
just
have
keep
one
the
in
Ursa
hand.
Vanquisher.
Okay. If
Well,
true.
yeah, he could just keep the Ursa Vanquisher. The problem is, what I'm wondering is, second game, will Joshua be able to even like not do this?
I'm not sure his deck really has the option.
Because the thing is, while I was talking about the luxury of deck building with DJ, is if you don't use DJ's ability, then you
Fall behind.
then you fall behind. You don't get the things that you would typically mathematically get because of DJ.
You need to get ahead and stay ahead, but if you stay ahead for too long and you can't recur, if you don't have juggling routines, if you don't have a way to get anything back, you get so far ahead that you just kind of fall off a cliff.
Yep.
And then there's nothing left.
Oh,
I've definitely
I think
played
I know
games
it.
through to
Joshua just played that Troublemaker, correct?
yes.
Okay, then I believe that Joshua is trying to just strike out the Nightmare Moon.
That is possible.
Because then at least he has the tools in his hand.
We just saw a Captain Jack get knocked out of Matt's hand. Pretty unfortunate
yeah,
for him. That's
and,
two Jacks in the grave. I think it's all three.
Nope.
No, there is one Jack left for Matt, and it is a card he really needs. We're seeing two Nightmare Moons gone.
Okay, so now I
One
think...
Nightmare Moon, one Captain Jack left, and those are cards he desperately needs. He is not going to be able to stifle Joshua without probably both of those. Seeing
Challenge,
Carbo
and he
flip,
gets it, I believe.
I think so.
Frozen and Magicite.
Frozen and
Nope.
Magicite comes out to shove that Limestone home, so he does not destroy that Yellow Parasprite. Probably a good move on Joshua's part. He needs to keep that alive as long as possible, just for the chance to hit Nightmare Moon or Captain Jack if those are in Matt's hand.
So, Matt has a thing, right? He has to consider, we have only a Nightmare Star. He has not drawn the Nightmare Moon yet. So that's
so
probably
he's-
why he's probably just like, okay, have Yellow Parasprite. That's okay.
Probably
Because
letting it sit. Nothing of dire importance in his hand. Interestingly, he does have a Breezy Flower in hand, and he has not chosen to get rid of Study Session yet. I don't know that every breakdown is gone. I believe Joshua still has 1 to 2 of those left. So that it's kind of an interesting choice, but he might just want to keep cards in hand again to protect other cards from that random the destruction chance. We're seeing that Meticulous go off. We have not seen Limestone become exhausted. I think it seems like he might want to be keeping it ready just in case a breakdown comes out, but he's got the Appaloosa out and it wouldn't be able to be destroyed anyway.
2 Yellow Parasprites.
Two
So,
yellow
that's exactly.
Parasprites.
Joshua's like, okay, well, if you're going to do that, then I need to make you discard that Nightmare Moon. So that I can at least use these options in my hand. So, Matt will probably play the Nightmare Moon immediately once he gets it.
I believe
And I
so.
believe that Matt's probably going to...
Probably want to drop it at that top problem.
Yeah. Well, maybe at the bottom, just because it might be
Hard to say.
irrelevant at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Because this has not come down to a game of scoring. It has come down to a game of getting rid of every option your opponent has. This is a war of attrition right here. And both players are in less than fantastic positions.
I think Matt is in a better position. However, other than the 2 Yellow Parasprites, so
Yeah.
no problem. But Oh yeah, that's something that Joshua might have to keep in mind for game 2. Is just I might have to Destiny drain these Nightmare Moons instead of
That's
these
probably
mimics.
going to be what he needs to
But
hit.
that's going to be extremely rough as well. Because then it
having to
means
deal with
his
mimics for the
events
whole
are-
game is going to be rough as well, for sure.
There's an interesting kind of dynamic going on here when it comes to just what do I suffer through as opposed to
Yeah.
as opposed to what do I do to destroy my
Not what.
opponent?
Yeah. Not what do I. How do I mess with my opponent? How do I make them mess with me less?
Yeah. So Matt will probably he's gonna try and beat that yellow Parasprite again. I think Matt's also going to maybe
Interesting.
dig.
We're seeing Shining Armor come out over at a Secret Cavalry Pony, so its cost was reduced. He did pay only 2 for that, but as a purple friend, it is not able to confront that problem on its own. So he's just gonna accept that was not a confront. I think he just
So
wanted
Matt is probably hoping not to draw the Nightmare Moon. I think what Matt wants to do now is what he wants to happen is he wants to just get rid of these yellow Parasprites and then eventually just he's probably hoping that the Nightmare Moon is not on the bottom of his deck. He knows that it's not because we haven't seen it flipped away. But yeah, Joshua's like, come on, Nightmare Moon. I just want to see the Nightmare Moon go away.
4, 5, 6.
He
Captain
gets the
Jack.
Captain Jack. Okay, so so Joshua gets to keep his board state in this War of Attrition. He gets to keep what is out.
Three.
In the
Some
Breezy Flower,
another bad hit.
I might
Matt's
have.
only option left, his only hope left seems to be that Nightmare Moon.
And do we see
You
it flip
try to
away?
kill that yellow Parasprite.
No. Oh, that's
Starlight
another-
Glimmer, that 6 versus that 5. That yellow Parasprite will be going down. That's a point for Matt. Getting rid of one of those yellow Parasprites, reducing the chances that one of those key cards, namely that final Nightmare Moon, will be knocked out of his hand.
Another thing is, he still has Appaloosa, and he still has things to deal with whatever's on the board state with Limestone and such. I don't know when Matt is going to be switching gears here. They're counting out the deck. There's still a lot of deck left.
Yeah, there's a good little bit there. An interesting thing to note too is with the Firewind Readies in Joshua's deck, if Matt is to try to force his single face-off down below, he's going to confront that bottom problem, bring him up to 4. If that Firewind Ready comes out, he may be able to get rid of that second yellow Parasprite without even having to fight it. He might want to try to kill it for the point, but protecting his hand is probably higher priority at the moment.
Yeah. Keep in mind that this game this game doesn't have to be a race, especially when you're afforded time. I would almost say just particularly if you are afforded time.
We're seeing
We
Mayor
see
Mare
no
come out.
AT. Oh wait, yeah, we're going to see that Limestone tap to shut off that Mare, and then we're going to see that portal on that Mare to allow him to use it. So he's going to get rid of that Appaloosa. So now Matt no longer has that protection.
Yep. So that Appaloosa's down, so that Limestone may be able to be destroyed now.
Oh no! Yeah. Oh, I think Joshua
No.
may have misplayed. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not able to
assumed
react to
the
able to react to that
that
portal
card
with
because
that
the
Mayor
thing forgets after the thing is processed.
Yep.
Yeah. But the thing wasn't there to do its ability.
There we go. Joshua playing very interesting. Joshua playing Food Fight to destroy his own friend so that he can exhaust Mare to get rid of
And now he has
the
the BJ, and he's
Appaloosa.
going to get rid of that Limestone.
Breakdown comes out,
See, he's
Limestone
getting
goes down.
He's like, all right, maybe I can make this board state, and also you haven't gotten rid of my deck. However, Matt might be aware that this meticulousing is putting a lot of cards that aren't serving much of a purpose on the bottom. Maybe that's what he's hoping for. However, we did see those utterly drains discarded when Joshua dug.
That is true. If he is able to attack Joshua's hand and leave him with nothing but the cards on his board, even if he's not able to destroy them, he may be able to just use his deck to turn it into a regular game, and he may be able to win a regular match against Joshua's board. If Joshua doesn't have any tricks in hand and such.
It's true. Matt still has still has some of his resources.
Nightmare Star coming out.
Nice.
As an epic, destroys that yellow Parasprites.
A little too late because of that Mare. Or
True.
For that Mare, I should say. I think all the Appaloosas are gone.
I believe so. I believe we saw 2 go down. I don't know that he's running 3.
It's unusual for a player to run.
We're seeing 3 in there,
All
so
right,
I think he may have one
He might
left.
still be in the game then.
I'm looking through the grave. I think he's trying to see what destruction is gone, to see if it is safe to play his
Yeah,
limited
he's like
friends.
he's looking at the deck. He's like, all right, yeah. Is it all of it? No, none of it. Some.
Both of these players recognizing that, again, not a war of score. It is a war of getting rid of everything your opponent can do.
That's the route that Matt has chosen. Joshua he tried to get blackmail would have probably ended this game.
Blackmail would have made it a really hard game for Matt.
Yeah. Like that's so much that would have completely made Matt throw out his long game because it's just like, oh, I'm on a timer now. I have to do things. I have to throw things out. But study sessions and beatdown, so maybe not.
Blackmail allowing its owner to score a point every turn that its opponent does not. So there has not been a lot of scoring in this game so far.
And what's
It
interesting
doesn't confront specifically, at least.
And what's interesting is because this game has been slowed down so Matt can potentially burn out Joshua's resources. The game hasn't hit that 4 AT mark, so Matt has to usually just wait a turn to do anything. So it's a very difficult strategy to try and execute.
That study session slowing him down quite a bit.
It's hard to
Severely
transform a game
reduces
into
his-
a Pokemon.
Yeah. Severely reduces his reaction time.
Shoutouts to Alolan Executor.
He knows how to play that long game.
Yeah.
He invented it. Alrighty, since we've got a little bit of a slow moment here while our players are thinking, just for those of us who are just now joining us, you're watching the 2017 North American Continental Championships hosted by Pack Breakers and brought to you by the Commentary is Magic crew. I am Furry Flurry.
I am Critical Thought.
And you are currently watching Game 1 of Round 1. Joshua Stuick versus Matt Wuthrick. Been a very grindy game so far. Not a whole lot of confronting, not a whole lot of challenging. Both these players just attacking each other's decks and boards ruthlessly, trying to get rid of every option that the other has. And we're starting to see the results of that now. Joshua very low on a deck. Matt very low on options. He's got many cards left, but not a lot of them are what we feel like he thinks he needs. A lot of his destruction is gone. A lot of his disruption is gone. Gonna be an interesting one from here. We're gonna have to see what gets destroyed and what decisions these players make.
And to review what I think the players' respective strategies are in this far in the game, Matt wants to eventually. There's that gesture that probably got flipped away forever ago. Honestly. All right, so Joshua is actually picking up this game quite a bit now. He's
That just clowning around, allowing him to, when he confronts it, replace either of these problems. Either getting rid of that Nightmare Star and allowing him to re-exhaust his friends again, or replacing his own problem deck and trying to get either Fire when ready to replace all the problems or score a lot, or Blackmail to passively score by disrupting his opponent. Opting to get rid of that Nightmare Star.
all right, Matt can. I don't. It seems like Matt can no longer do this kind of war of attrition strategy. That seems to be waning at this point. Mostly because the Captain Jack is gone. All 3 of his Captain Jacks are gone. He can't get rid of a good board state anymore. Or at least not as easily. And because of that, study sessions, he's not able to establish very easily either.
Very true, very true. Anything he tries to throw out is immediately at risk of destruction because of those breakdowns. Leaving him in a fairly precarious position here. Josh slightly ahead on points with that confront just now. Matt weighing his options. He realizes that pretty much all he can do is hope for that Nightmare Moon. Maybe try to use some epics he has, some villains specifically, to possibly try to frighten some of those friends. Possibly something Joshua would want, though, with a couple of those friends having lost their abilities due to 2 copies of Clipped Wings and another one earlier in the game. When Matt's problem was flipped, it did allow him to look at his, well, call a card, look at his opponent's hand, and destroy any copies of those cards in that hand. Does not look like he got any of those calls correct, whatever his guess was, but he is writing down his opponent's hand. Because those cards that are in hand right now are most of Joshua's remaining options for the rest of this game. So he gained a lot of information with that flip.
I believe Matt might start digging. Oh.
Looking for that last Nightmare Moon, you think?
Oh, does he have does he have a thing that he can play that has Stubborn?
That would work.
It would work. He would lose it, but he'd be able to get rid of the Jester.
True.
All right, he's a we don't play touch go. Or what's that called in chess?
Yeah. Oh,
touch something. Touch play, touch.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Just because you moved something for a split second doesn't mean, oh, too bad, you did it. That was your move. We're not holding each other to moves quite that hard. Looks like he's gonna try to confront this.
That slow play.
Judge, slow
real
play.
Yeah. All right, there we
very
go. That's
slowly.
what he's
So we see
attempting.
Limestone come out. It is exhausted.
All right, so he wants to do this face. He wants to get rid of this dilemma. That is something that
A Limestone
a lot of
is
players
stubborn,
do.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that
Limestone's
Limestone.
stubborn. It would have been nice if Limestone wasn't exhausted, because then he could not only challenge it, but he could ensure that victory.
That is true. He'd be able to remove the ability of that Shining Armor in the middle of the fight.
Does he win? Nope. Tie.
I see tie.
That's a loss.
Oh, that's a
All
loss.
right, so,
okay, so
point
that
for Matt, a
costing,
point for Joshua. But getting rid of that, getting rid of that gesture is really important for the future of this game. I believe.
Joshua, that was his second just clowning around. He only has the 2 copies, so he will not be able to easily replace his own problem to search for those other useful problems anymore. Additionally, if his Fire When Ready does flip at some point, he will not be able to score that additional 5 bonus because he does not have a dilemma to confront
It'll
anymore.
only be it could only be a potential. Well, it could be a potential obstacle pretty much. It could be an obstacle for Matt as well, but that problem is just explosive.
We're seeing
All right,
a
we're
dip
seeing
in
a
the
dip in the
pool come
pool.
out. Looks like we're going to copy one of these Shining Armors. So we've got 3 copies of the Shining Armor on the board. One of them without an ability, so only 2 effective ones.
All right.
We're seeing that shoved at Matt's problem.
That's a question.
All right, we had a little
Alright,
bit of
well,
a discussion there on whether a trigger was missed. It
Very-
does not look like it. Generous for Matt,
Yeah, generous for Matt.
allowing his opponent to
Kind of just pull back a little bit.
grab that trigger, even if it was just a little late.
Yeah. What's going on? Oh, okay. So yeah, we're looking like Matt might have to switch gears here. And it's possible. Like, he still can Nightmare Moon, probably because he knows that Joshua has also been trying to craft a hand. So Joshua kind of had to, right? He's not going to discard the things that are important. He has to discard the things that aren't important, which leads people to think, well, you meticulousing, and those cards on the bottom might not be important. I know what you flipped. I don't know if Matt's been keeping track of all that, but he might know the rest of how this game plays out.
True.
So now it's a matter of deciding what he's going to do from here. Is he considering the concede? Beatdown? We're kind of listening to the players' thoughts now.
Exhausting that Limestone to remove that Breakdown's ability, so that Breakdown now
can't
now
destroy
unable to
things.
destroy exhausted friends
Yep.
by exhausting itself.
So now I think Matt has to switch gears if he wants to win this game. I think
Start confronting to
he
pull
can't-
ahead.
I think Joshua recognized the situation early enough.
Mm-hmm.
So
Very smart on his part. He realized that he was running out of resources, dropped what he needed to while he could, recognizing that all those Captain Jacks were gone to just flood the
Appaloosa.
board and make sure those cards stay in hand.
I'm curious. Okay, then maybe he called the Mare. I don't know if I agree with that. Unless he has a second limestone. No, he
Possible.
can't. He couldn't have a second limestone in hand. He has 3 AT. He's digging.
Probably would have taken those draws before playing that Appaloosa.
Oh, that's actually what he wanted.
Is it now?
Yeah,
What
it is. He wanted to get this. He wanted to play that.
Beautiful. Okay.
Alright.
That
I
under
mean,
rest
it
coming
doesn't
out.
keep it exhaust. Does it keep it exhaust? No, it has to have 3 power.
It doesn't know.
Yes, I believe so.
I don't know if that's the thing.
So
We
he
can
did
look this
strike
up
the
here real
beat
quick.
down.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think it needs to have 3 power to remain exhausted. I don't think.
Let me see here. I'm pulling it up now.
I'm confused a little bit about this board state, and maybe I'm mistaken about how a card works.
3 or less power.
Oh, 3 or less power.
Yeah.
Wow, that makes that card not good against Mod or AJ.
Okay, so
So
yeah,
I
we were
stand corrected.
misspoken
Yeah.
speaking earlier. So that Mare will remain exhausted.
So Matt top decked.
Yeah, and got exactly
He totally
what he
hearted
needed.
the cards that.
With his luck with these Nightmare Moons and Yellow Parasprites up till now, he needed something. So his deck gave him something that he needed. That Mare is now exhausted for the rest of the game. His other Mare, which is his only other resource destruction, Joshua's, is gone now. So Matt's resources are safe for the rest of this game.
But he's able to. Joshua, I think he just played his last Epiphany.
That last Epiphany coming out to save that Mare.
That messes us. That throws a wrench in these plans.
There are only 2 events left in Joshua's hands. Those events needing to be played so that the Mare can destroy resources. There is the Under Arrest on the first Mare. Not really a problem since he's got a second one. There are clipped wings on a couple of his friends that he may want to remove. The Appaloosa is probably the biggest target because it's what is keeping Matt's friends safe currently.
This is a really good game. I'm really appreciating the play from both players here. Cutie Puck's
We're
scared.
seeing Cutie Puck scared
He's
come
taking
out.
it. He's like, I'm gonna
Opting
take
to
a hit.
shove his own friends home in order
There's that last Appaloosa
to
is
destroy
gone.
that last Appaloosa. So
the
Matt's
board state
friends,
is no longer is not very. Actually, he still has the limestone to shut off the beatdown.
True.
Matt has more troublemakers. He has Nightmare Moon and he has another thing.
True.
And he runs carbo loaders.
So it's not over, but it's looking a little,
It's
a little
rough.
grim for Matt.
Yeah, it's rough. Also, he actually has to be careful using that Nightmare Moon or any villains.
True.
Well,
He might attack his own hand.
never mind. Actually, I keep forgetting. Like
We're retiring that
the
shining armor.
Mariners, the Mariners have done their job. They're pretty much they're a dead card at this point.
True.
It seems. Actually, wait, no. They might be.
All 3 clipped wings are gone.
Yeah,
All 3
clipped wings.
Appaloosas are gone.
Yep.
I think there may be one more copy of Under Arrest, but that is about it. If that Under Arrest comes out and he is able to... there are only 2 copies of Under Arrest, and those are both gone, actually. So with those gone, it seems like all of Matt's scary resources are gone. Those Mare's no longer the most useful card for Joshua.
So now what Matt, I think, needs to do is he needs to keep that DJ turned off.
With
He
that
needs
limestone.
to establish a defense, and he needs to keep it and crawl ahead.
Yep.
He needs to basically play farm. I think at this point, I don't think there's much else. Matt still hasn't played this Nightmare Moon, and Joshua has only so many cards in his deck.
Yep. I think Matt's trying to save it for when Joshua is finally out of a deck. That will guarantee that Joshua is not able to farm it without moving just a lot of friends. Basically guarantees Matt's ability to farm it. He'll score those 3 points and destroy Joshua's hand in one move, if that is the case.
So that's interesting.
Joshua running real low on resources, even though he's currently ahead
out of
on the
rep-
board.
Joshua's also, I think he's officially out of his small recursion. I was mistaken when I said, "Oh, infiltrator." That's interesting. I was mistaken in saying that Joshua has no recursion. He has small recursion. He doesn't have the deck reset. He doesn't have that. I can constantly reuse certain things. When his resources are out, they are out.
That is true.
At a certain point. So, who knows? Matt's long game might still reward him. Paying 1 to draw. He might just pass. This is a little scary because now Joshua can, I believe, can he possibly DFO?
He probably could on this coming
Okay,
turn.
that's the last card in his deck.
So Joshua is now out of a deck. Matt will probably be dropping that Nightmare Moon very soon.
If he has, I don't think he has gotten.
I'm
it
not
yet.
sure if he has it.
I don't think he wants to dig.
It is possible that we just saw earlier and all 3 are gone as well. We know 2 are gone.
Do we know if Matt has a blackmail?
We can check his problem deck here as well. I don't know that he does. Seeking the Scepter, Jailbreak, Hay Bale Monster Stack, Family
blackmail.
Feuds, Falling Rock Zone, in addition to his infiltrating the Hive as a starting problem.
Okay, so that limestone's gone.
Pinky the party
So the
planner.
breakdown is on. It's I keep forgetting that breakdown isn't the only destruction.
True.
So Joshua is recovering. Joshua now has the board state he wants.
If
for now.
Matt were to play Limestone, it would enter exhausted, so he would not be able to use its ability to kill or to turn off the ability of that breakdown. As long as that breakdown's ability is active, any friend Matt plays, because of the study session, is vulnerable to destruction for at least 1 turn. So unless Matt is able to play multiple friends in 1 turn, they will all die. If he plays 1 friend a turn, they will die guaranteed. He pretty much kind of has to hold at this point.
He has to. I think what he has to do is Nightmare Moon and get a Breezy Flower.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He only has 1 copy of Breezy Flower, if I saw correctly.
Oh, 1 copy. A tad greedy.
If I saw correctly.
yeah.
Let me see here.
A tad greedy.
One sea breeze flower.
Does he have AJ's Epiphanies?
I believe so.
Okay.
There are 2 Applejack's Epiphany, so he either needs that and needs to make a face-off happen, or he needs 1 copy of that flower. That 1 copy of the flower is gone, so he's only Epiphanies left as resource destruction. As long as that study session on Joshua's side of the board remains there, Matt is going to have a heck of a time playing anything, really.
Like,
The one nice thing about his situation is that he has his wreck. Nothing is going to happen to challenge that. He is able to play his cards. If he's able to keep them or make them impactful is the question. See a Farm Former in hand, not the most useful anymore. Pretty much all of those resources being gone.
he can force a face-off. Make Joshua have a little bit of pressure when it comes to his stuff. Playing Carbo Loader. Interesting.
Seeing Carbo Loader come out, he is going to need to drop another friend, or else that Carbo Loader is going to be destroyed immediately.
Yeah. That has to be what he has in mind. The schmooze. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down, I believe.
Smooth entering exhausted as well. Joshua only being able to destroy 1 of these on his turn, so that will guarantee that Matt has at least 1 friend left.
Though that is assuming that Joshua, how many cards Joshua has a full hand. Those could all be, resource destruction and stuff. Or not resource destruction, just
Destruction.
ordinary destruction.
I don't know that he has any left. I think his party planners are gone. His Epiphanies are all gone. I don't know that he has a breakdown left. I'm pretty sure those are all gone as well.
Oh,
We're
he's
seeing
there it
bailout
is.
on the breakdown.
Nice.
That DJ being exhausted for this coming turn. That will protect both of his friends there, so that Carbo and that Smooze are safe. That Smooze will be able to slowly grow in power for the rest of the game,
Okay.
leaving Matt in a much better state than he was just a moment ago.
It's really been difficult to figure
To
out
gauge who is going to win, who's going to
winning,
lose.
who is in a very good, like, it's been looking good for Joshua for a while. It's been looking good for Matt for a while, and I think we've touched on that and kind of said, it's looking really good for this. And then it's just like, actually,
and then one play happens, and we're like, well, maybe
we're
not.
almost always not too sure at this point. We're just kind of like,
We're returning that Ursa Vanquisher to hand to shove those two friends home.
Playing it again.
Wasting more AT. We're dropping that at that top
Using
problem.
more AT. No AT goes to waste.
No, we're making Matt waste his AT to move those back up.
Okay.
Passing back to Matt.
Matt
Those
now
friends are
has a
exhausting.
board.
He has cards on the board, ladies and gentlemen.
His schmooze can pay 5, get schmooze to 7.
And confront with it's doable. If all that destruction is gone, he may not be in the worst
Matt
position
really
anymore.
probably doesn't want to make that problem flip.
Final side's back with us from yesterday. Yes, Joshua is out of a deck. He has only a hand. Matt has probably 30 to 35 cards in his grave at the moment. Almost every card in this game is in the grave. Probably about 2 to 3 times as many cards in the grave as there are on board.
In respect to Josh, Matt has not been using a DJ's ability. He still has a bit of a deck. He's looking for a Nightmare Moon to finish off this hand and fear probably all that stuff over there. Matt really doesn't want to see a blackmail.
I think I'm a bit behind on Joshua's score as well there. I think
He's at about 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Been confronting here. I'm guessing it's a 9. Let's see. We're seeing another Carbo come out.
Mm-hmm. So Matt, I think, is trying to establish a board state. He's going to play 2 Troublemakers, and then he's going to figure it out from there.
That breakdown was bailouted last turn, so that DJ is still exhausted for this turn, so that Carbo is safe.
Oh. Chrono Trigger's ability. It wipes out the entire board, and then brings back all the stuff that was removed.
That is true.
So
That may well be an option as well.
Matt does have a another
Once
Chrono
20
Trigger
cards
in
are
this deck.
banished that way, though.
Oh.
Yep. There
That's
may not be
that
20 cards to banish.
That is not happening then.
So one thought that was had, Matt does have Starlight Glimmer Chrono Trigger in his deck. That card banishing 2 cards from the top of each player's deck on each of Matt's turns. And once 20 cards are banished, it will wipe the board and all of those cards are put into play. There may not be 20 cards left in decks to banish, though. So that board wipe may not happen, because that wipe doesn't trigger until she reaches 20 cards banished. And there may not be 20 cards left to banish.
Okay, so now what I think we're looking for. I think we're looking for a lockdown for a bit.
An interesting thing is, if face-offs do happen, Matt will almost certainly win them.
7. Yes. But also there's that blackmail looming in the distance.
We're seeing Carbo number 3 come out.
So Matt's also basically saying, I have another bailout.
True.
Yeah.
True.
This is brilliant play on both players' accounts. Matt really playing a very, very meticulous game.
Being very careful about what he's throwing
You're
when he's
playing
throwing
the
it.
wrong color, Matt. Meticulous isn't purple. But orange is good. Okay, why do you play the Carbo?
Man,
what?
can you believe Joshua's missed his meticulous trigger like 6 turns
Why
in
do
a
you do
row?
that?
What now?
Why do you do that?
He threw the Carbo
Yeah,
without...
why do you throw the cover just to play the Winelli? I don't quite understand.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure either.
Score? Okay. 10. Matt needs to do something now.
Yeah.
He absolutely has to do something right now, or it may be game. As Josh is at 10. Well, yeah, he needs to do something now because he needs to set 2 villains. I
Was
believe
that a confront?
That's the plan. Yes. Actually, wait, no.
I don't think that was a confront. I think that whole Woe Nelly was just to buy a turn, forcing Joshua to exhaust that breakdown so that the confront wouldn't happen.
And Matt does have things to buy.
Oh, actually, it's
turns.
looking like looks
I
like
see
he's
a
at
Queen
11.
Chrysalis in his hand.
That could be very helpful.
Wow. No, that's...
He was baiting the DJ into being exhausted, I think, so he can copy that DJ with that Chrysalis and kill that DJ with its own ability, I
Yep.
believe.
I think that's what's
I
coming out.
think that was the play just now.
So there's no decks.
There are no decks left in this game,
No decks.
ladies and gentlemen.
Everyone just has what they have. This is freaking Yu-Gi-Oh. This is wonderful. This is an excellent game.
This is very cool to see. So that Chrysalis is in hand. I think he's being very careful about what he wants to throw with that.
So, no deck. Chrono Trigger's just going to mill nothing. It's just going to stay there. There are 2 Carbo Loaders on the board.
That don't do anything.
And the
apparently.
Schmooze... Wow, and the Schmooze can just get as big
Just
as
get
Matt
bigger.
feels like.
I don't think he has the control options to win this anymore, though. I think Joshua's too far ahead. I think he can just confront and win.
Oh, wait, because he's at 11?
Yeah,
So it's just confront and win.
I think so. I think
there you go.
it is currently over.
Well, no, popping corn.
Is there a popping corn in hand?
Almost certainly.
That could happen.
He just confronts. Or- Exhaust Cloud Chaser. Play this Troublemaker. Move all this here. Very old Vine.
Those are pretty good. A guy who did vines very early on in this game's life, and sadly only ever did a few before he kind of disappeared. Seeing
Okay,
a
so
popping
Matt
corn,
wanted-
exhausting all of those,
That was a brilliant play on Joshua's part because he moved that DJ home. 'Cause
and
he's
now he'll
like,
be able to play that Chrysalis, copy that breakdown, and he'll be able to kill one of these friends here.
That's true.
Probably that Ursa Well, no, actually, no, the Ursa Vanquisher's not exhausted. We'll be able to kill any of those exhausted friends. Just kill the DJ main. Then he won't be able to draw from his not deck. That's I think that's the play. That's not the play.
So Joshua actually made a really, really smart choice here. He moved the DJ back, so then it's not exhausted. So he can kill whatever Matt plays.
So he was aware of that.
I think
popping
this
corn
might be
being an option.
Joshua's game.
I think so. I think it's over at this point.
Very, very smart strategy from Matt, but Joshua, I think either he knew all along or he recognized it in time.
Is that Smooth's ability immediate?
Yes.
Okay, so he will be able to wait till that next turn. If he wants to just move Smooth up, he could do that.
Yeah. So he wants to score a point. He didn't get the night. Where's the Nightmare Moon?
I think it may have been in the grave the whole time, and we just missed it while he was flipping through.
Might have. Okay. What's the rest of the game here, man? I'm curious. He's what 1, 2, 3.
You have a 2 bonus up top.
Let's see here. 1, 2, confront 3, 8.
And then a
1,
double would only
2,
put him
3,
at 12.
4. That would
Another
only put him at
double would
12.
put him over the top, though. So it is possible for Matt, I think, if Joshua is... With all that movement that Joshua just spent, he blew a lot of AT and may not be able to double, but I think Matt just conceded.
Did Matt concede?
I think so. I think he's agreed that he cannot win that in that state, and I think I agree.
Yeah, I think so as well. That moving back DJ was the play.
Was the play, absolutely.
Yeah, that was really, really smart on Joshua's side.
Keeping it from being exhausted by that popping corn, keeping it safe.
Matt, he had a lot of AT prior. I'm wondering, could he not have played the Chrysalis earlier and just gotten rid of the DJ then?
I don't know. I think that was an option. At that point, it may not have made a difference though, because if he got rid of the DJ, he still didn't have many other friends in hand. I think he only got that Chrysalis fairly recently, and by then all the damage was done. Killing the DJ would have killed the DJ, but there wasn't anything left to exhaust. The Carbos weren't going to become exhausted because there was no deck left to flip.
I didn't realize that Matt was also very low on a deck.
Yeah, I knew it was
did
low. I didn't
dig.
realize it was
Yeah.
as low as it was. I thought he had a few turns of having a deck left.
So that was probably exactly what was happening, as I predicted. But it just didn't play out in the end. Matt got a lot of what he was probably looking for the long game. The schmooze, definitely. Because, I mean, jeez.
Yeah, that was
Crazy game.
pretty nuts. Both of them being very aware of what was happening the whole time, very aware of what was possibly in each other's hands, what problems could be flipped, making calls based on information that hadn't actually been revealed in the game. These players clearly looked at deck lists, as they should have. They both knew what was available to each other. They both knew what was where. They both checked their opponent's graves several times. 2 copies of that, 3 copies of that. You probably don't have this. You probably do have this. Very interesting. Those just clowning arounds really doing work for Joshua, allowing him to replace troublemakers on the fly, shove Matt's friends home. Study session breakdown proving again that it's a very strong combination of cards. Anything Matt played, dying almost immediately in that game. Even with the Captain Jack coming out and destroying Joshua's board state early, leaving him out of his purple, Joshua was able to re-enter that color, keep those friends alive, recur those mares to get rid of Matt's safety net in the form of that Appaloosa. Without that Appaloosa, was not able to keep that limestone on the board. That limestone, about the only thing that was keeping him safe after all those after all those Captain Jacks were gone. And after that, just too many options were gone. Carbo was not doing a whole lot in that matchup because not a whole lot of face-offs were happening. So those all just kind of ended up in Matt's hands till the end of the game there, at which point there was no deck left to flip.
Man, crazy game.
Pretty crazy.
I'm wondering if Matt's gonna switch up his strategy a little bit.
Might
perhaps
go
play
a
more
little harder, a
aggressively.
little earlier. I do believe, like one call I'm going to make now is that I think Joshua may very well spend his Destiny Drain on Nightmare Moon or Captain Jack instead of
Mimics.
Changeling Mimics this time. Changeling Mimics being a little easier to kill. That said, if that is the case, since that is such an important card and such a damaging card for Joshua, I think we'll see Matt try to drop some Carbos a little earlier on to protect those. I think he knows that he has to prioritize getting Appaloosa out and keeping it safe in some form. Trying to keep a Limestone out early in case a Mare comes out to destroy those Appaloosas. Because that Appaloosa is the only thing standing in between his Carbo loaders and Joshua's breakdowns. I'm going to mute here for just a second. Sorry about that, folks. Had a little bit of background noise there. For those of us who are just joining us, you are currently watching the 2017 North American Continental Championships, hosted by Pack Breakers, brought to you by Commentary is Magic's stream. Your hosts here today are myself, Furry Flurry.
And myself, Critical Thought.
Just because we haven't mentioned it yet today, there is a donations button down below on Twitch there. Cute little Fluttershy there saying every bit helps, and that is very true. Those donations go to the Commentaries Magic crew, and they use that money to be able to bring these kinds of streams to you guys, as well as set up extra recording equipment, get new equipment. There are 2 other tables being recorded, both yesterday and today, that we're not seeing on stream right now. Those games in their entirety will be posted on their YouTube channel and accessible later, so you can watch those as well. And those donations help bring those games to you as well. So every bit is appreciated. We are going into game 2 of round 1. Looks like we had Joshua win that first one in that War of Attrition. Very grindy game. Both players attacking each other's board states and decks rather than trying to score to win. Looks like it paid off in the end. We're going to go ahead and see how this plays out in the second game, see what both players have learned, see if either of them switch priorities.
Definitely, I think we might. I don't know if that's the difference in what Matt got in his hand, or if he's really, probably committing to a different strategy here. But we might see Matt switch it up and be way more aggressive in what he wants to do.
I think so. Matt having gone first, dropping 2 troublemakers, one of them likely a Nightmare Moon. because he likes that Nightmare Moon to be able to flip that main early, attack his opponent's hand. We're seeing Nightmare Star, I believe. There's the Nightmare Moon.
That's Changeling Mimics.
Is it Mimics?
Yep.
Mimics is this is a very strong start for Matt already. So Joshua being able to attack, or Matt being able to attack Joshua's hand. Joshua will draw 3 cards. He did not pay his 2 AT on his turn to flip over his DJ, knowing that this was a Nightmare Moon and that he would be able to turn it over right away for free.
That's peculiar. I'm wondering why, because that was a beatdown and a Changeling Mimic?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
That DJ is turned over for free because of the draws off that Nightmare Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Joshua already down to 1 card in hand. Matt probably going to call events with that Mimic to tax those for an extra 3 AT. If he's able to keep the game slow like this for a little while, they will only be gaining 2 AT a turn. It will cost Joshua 2 turns to play a single event.
Also,
We've
that
got
one
one breakdown already. It should be banished.
Yeah, it should be banished.
There are 2 breakdowns
I think
gone
there's 3.
already. All 3 already?
Yeah, I think all 3. Wow.
Was that true?
Incredibly rough. Yeah, I think I saw that. That
is almost
rough.
game ending on turn 2, I believe. For Matt may have this already.
What tragic luck. Yes. See,
1.
I believe that was 2 back there, and and then there's the other one.
That would be a
That is
terrible start
really,
for Joshua.
really, that's insanely rough.
The only way he has to get those back are 3 copies, I believe, of Pinky's Epiphany, which is
more
a
expensive.
3-cost event that is now more expensive because that Changeling Mimics is on the board. Joshua is in a very, very dire situation already. He's got that Rainbow Shine out, hoping to reduce the cost of those events, hoping for a Pinky's Epiphany probably to be able to get those breakdowns back. Doesn't want to throw them too early, however. Doesn't have a steady
Matt has a
sessions.
far more, I think, also far more bombastic. Wow. Oh, that's rough. That's really
Flipping
rough.
away 2 Captain Jacks with that
Captain Jack's
4-man.
gone. He's going to organize that pile, I believe.
Yeah, he's gonna put those Captain Jacks at the top. He really wants those. I probably would have spread them out a little bit just to make sure I don't accidentally flip both or something like that. I would have put at least a card in between them.
Perhaps, yeah. That's not a bad choice.
Getting a Clipped Wings in hand that will be able to turn off abilities.
I know why. I know why he did it. He wanted to get rid of the mimics. That's why he took the
That'll do
sacrifice. That's a really rough sacrifice.
That's very true.
But he knew the beatdown was going
Barrel
away.
getting knocked out of Joshua's hand. Matt actually not, even though 2 of those Captain Jacks are now at the bottom of the deck, not in the worst position. Well, not the worst thing to happen with that farm form air, because he was able to get that Clipped Wings, which will be able to turn off the ability of Joshua's Crystal Shining Armors.
Hold on. Mimics is still active.
was that this turn that it was on the board?
I believe.
Mimics' ability should still be out.
Mimics' ability should still be active.
That should be costing 6 AT if they're listening, and they should be, I believe.
Yeah, we have a misplay here, I believe.
I think so.
Because he set that turn before.
It flipped this turn.
But he had mimics.
There was a Changeling Mimics on the board this turn, and events was called. Unless he didn't say events out loud, possibly. I guess we might be rolling with it. Yeah, there was a. They're pointing it out. We might have missed something, I suppose.
Perhaps it was resources or something along those lines.
We're turning off. We're gonna under arrest that DJ main.
Right, the beatdown is out, but that's not the worst thing. Especially since
there's no study sessions,
right now.
and there's 1 in the grave already, so that's 1 study session gone.
So,
under arrest on that main, that will not allow Joshua to continue to get that free draw and catch up.
Yep, he has to now he needs to spend his resources to build up a hand.
Yellow Parasprite gone from Joshua's hand, keeping Matt's a little safer. Mm-hmm. We did see that Clipped Wings knocked out of Matt's hand, unfortunately for him.
Okay, so Joshua recognizing the situation that things are much safer on the board than in his hand at the moment. Because
dropping that Mare right away. Doesn't have any events to trigger it, so he's not able to destroy that under arrest right away. Matt will probably be trying to find a limestone if he can to keep that Mare turned off.
Matt is also probably going to be trying to just get his board state. I think he wants to get his board state now, as opposed to potentially
Seeing a
losing.
popping corn get knocked off.
That's not the worst thing. Yeah, he has to smooth.
Smooth coming out.
It's not coming out exhausted, Matt. Don't worry.
Very used to that study session
He's
being
so-
on the board for
he's
the
so
whole
conditioned at this
of the last game. That
just like,
smooth allowing Matt to, at immediate speed, banish cards from Joshua's grave. He will be able to get rid of 2 of those breakdowns if he is able to deal with the last one.
Breakdown is a friend.
It is, yeah.
Schmooze does not consume organic matter, apparently.
It is only
It is only non-organic.
non-organic, only able to eat events and resources. Okay,
So that's
those
how you
breakdowns are
check
safe.
if there's a soul jar. Is you use the schmooze.
There you go.
Because there's a if there that's how you find the That's how you find the lich's weakness. You get the schmooze.
Perfect. We got that smooth coming out. We'll probably immediate that ability, or he'll probably save the AT. He can immediate that ability to put power counters on the smooth by eating things out of Joshua's grave, which will give him more power on the fly if he needs it to farm this Nightmare Moon, if he does try.
Other schmooze.
I'm not sure he's going to try right away. 5 to 7 is a little rough for Matt. Very doable, but not safe.
Okay, he got it.
Okay, he's got the AT
He's
to
like,
spend. He's
I am
like, all
burning
right, I'm
this.
just gonna
I banish.
something.
I mean,
Get rid of that utterly drained. That's a real useful card in this matchup. Okay, we're gonna get rid of one of those
Gotta
study
be repaired.
sessions.
Joshua may have cheated and snuck in a Rarity's Epiphany and an F-stop.
It's true though.
So you gotta banish
Nobody
those specific
noticed.
cards.
Alrighty.
I don't know if it really matters,
Matt
but you might as
boosting
well,
that smooth to score those 3 points off of that Nightmare Moon.
and you might as well keep yourself sharp. Like, even in a winning state, you might as well, and it may not be relevant. Knowing, exercising your thinking and going, okay, I know what the good choice is, just in case, assuming, and exercising that is still good. It's good to keep yourself sharp.
Hitting
throughout
the
rest of
important
turn.
instead of just being lazy and I don't know, hit whatever.
Yeah,
you
it
can't.
doesn't matter.
You can't bring him back.
Can't bring him back.
Just in case there's something you're forgetting.
Destiny drain that Nightmare Moon?
I believe
No,
so.
I mean there's 2 already there. Oh, the Changeling Mimics again.
Mimic's not a bad choice.
Okay, yeah.
With 2 Nightmare Moons
Yeah,
already
with two,
gone, the Mimics is not a
gonna
bad
do?
choice at all.
And then Matt gets a Biff and a night, and he has a Nightmare Moon, and then a whole lot of trouble.
Whoops.
Oh, but he does get his deck shuffled,
That is true.
so he can
So,
get his Captain Jacks
Those
again.
Captain Jacks are
And he's
out
gonna
and
be
about
like,
again.
he's like, I'm gonna separate
split these up a little bit,
Yeah.
shuffle some.
And now they're both in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah. Like no. When you
We'll
split
see.
it, well, yeah. Yeah. Now,
So we'll
now
see-
we don't
we'll
know,
see
but
where
it's
those
just
ended
like
up.
it's like I'm gonna divide these up, and then it's like, and now.
So we definitely didn't want those Mimics gone, but getting those Jacks back, possibly not the worst result of that for him. Joshua in not the worst position, definitely behind. He's got 1 breakdown on the board at least. If he gets that study session out, that may be all he needs. He only had 1 on the board at any given time during our last game, and he was able to do the damage that he did. If a limestone, however, were to come out, there are not as many options as for destruction on those.
Yep.
So
Well, we're
have
gonna
to
probably just see a
what
little
we
bit of
can do here.
confronting and such here.
Gonna boost that smooth, get rid of that.
boost
Oh, no, he's just pointing out that that Destiny Drain banishes itself.
Yeah. All right. So.
We did have a confront on Matthew's part last turn, too, that I did not put, so he is at 4.
Yep. So Matthew is looking pretty healthy at the moment, but of course we've been deceived several times. It's
True.
hard. It's so hard to tell sometimes, just because it's like.
That is something I just recalled
Just
as
a
well. Just
regular
going to pass, confront. Matt, I do believe, had... it's probably not something he's going to want to do. He doesn't want to give those breakdowns back. But he does have Changeling Infiltrators, which allows both players to shuffle the graves back into their deck, so he could get those Nightmare Moons back if he really wanted to.
Okay, so that means his choices are relevant in terms of the schmooze.
That is true. I forgot about that. So, if that Infiltrator comes back, those banished cards by the smooth will not. But I doubt he wants to give Joshua those breakdowns back. I thought that we only saw 2 study sessions last game. He's almost certainly running 3, which we can check here. But I only saw 2 of them. Let me Let me see.
Yep, there are there are definitely 3 study sessions in there.
Yeah,
One is in
going
the
hard.
grave
It's
currently.
a powerful board state.
We've got a breakdown on the board, which is very relevant. We've got a
Ursa Vanquisher.
Ursa Vanquisher
So
that'll
he
shove those
might
friends
just go
home.
for the regular face-off here.
That is possible. Nope, he's going to
Yeah,
shove
yeah.
those friends home, burn up a little bit of Matthew's AT on this next turn. He's going to get that confront as... No, actually, he's a little short of that confront on that Trading Traditions. Only 4 power there. There's a 5 power. There's a 5 confront requirement
Hey, Lasso
on his side.
champion. Lasso champion. That's not bad.
Lasso
Yeah,
champion,
that's
definitely
just an
not a bad
option.
thing to draw. He can turn off that breakdown. He can throw that breakdown on the board, keep it permanently exhausted, and then Joshua will absolutely need one of his other destruction options.
He has his one breezy flower. I'd be tempted to.
Drop it on the board already?
I would be tempted to do that. Well, it's safe in his hand right now.
Yeah, there's no Parasprites. And again, he does have 2 Applejacks Epiphanies. Those just were thrown out early last game.
Okay,
so
so
that's why
he's
we didn't
gonna
see those.
he's dropping that Chrono Trigger.
Interesting.
I think if Chrono Trigger, if
I don't think that's the worst option.
crazy enough, if Chrono Trigger goes off, I think Matt might be in the better board state at that point.
Also, there's a very good chance that a Captain Jack would be one of those cards to come out.
Yep, and that we've talked about that actually.
Mm-hmm.
Where if Captain Jack comes out, then it's just, yeah, I banished
Okay,
everything, and now it's all gone.
We banish every card on the board. We re-enter all these cards into the board. And now we destroy everything on the board. Okay.
Except for like Mayapalooza, the one other card I want protected, and you can keep whatever. I don't care. Because it'd probably be a limestone
Yeah.
if it was an option.
Joshua realizing that his friends there are going to get feared, doesn't want that. No chance for a face-off there, so he either has to try to score and just eat the loss, or shove those home to protect them.
Yep. There we go.
Interesting, not a bad move.
Yeah.
Dropping that just clowning around, that'll allow him to
early.
replace a problem. He may confront with his DJ.
Oh, he's just playing it because he's afraid of the Nightmare Moon.
Okay, he thinks it's a Nightmare Moon, so he's just getting those 2 cards on the board to be safe. Frightening those 2.
Yep. Chrono Trigger is such a chaotic card, but again, orange is one of those colors where a lot of stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah, if
You only
if you
need
lose
so
a couple
much.
copies of this, a couple copies of that, you're fine.
It's a very minimalist kind of deck.
Yeah.
Like if you could just if you like that, like you only need to think of a few cards. You just have to play them right.
Yeah. You only get 1 card a turn, but it's gonna do some damage, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's such a sturdy color. Pink and purple being very versatile. So it's always interesting. I like how these colors play.
Interact, and definitely how they interact, I think.
Yeah. So
Looking at 6
Joshua's-
AT from Matt.
Joshua is definitely going to get at least 1 Jester.
That is true.
Yeah. Unless Matt can stop him.
He might have a bailout. He might have a or a popping corn.
Well, I mean, it's gonna remain on the board until a face-off happens. I don't think actually. Yeah.
He's
no, I think
moving.
that-
Moving
Moving
up
the
to
schmooze.
mine. She's made of stone. Moving up to
Okay.
farm that chrysalis.
I
Probably
think-
the right option. I think he wants to leave that starlight on the board so it can continue to attack Joshua's deck. Remove even more options.
Yeah, I think that's. I think again, very long game thinking here.
With that start that he had though, and getting so ahead so early, I don't think that's the wrong call by any means.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, at this point you want to just, if you can chip away, do chip away. All right, he is exhausting Ursa
Bail out that
for
Ursa
2
to
turns.
make sure that that just clowning around cannot be confronted, so that neither of these problems are replaced. I'm going to exhaust to draw.
Yeah, Matt is definitely looking a lot better in this game. Perhaps he had to play the long game because of just maybe
What
he just did
options
not
he
have
was
a hand.
given early on, yeah.
So that Ursa Vanquisher is going to be out for 2 turns. Ursa Vanquisher is one of this type of Pink Purple's big boys, but it does have another one. At least this build does. And we got a Cutie Puck scare here.
Not a bad option. He
Yeah.
was able to reduce the cost of that Cutie Park scare with that Rainbow Shine, save a little bit of AT, shove those friends home so that
Chrono
Chrysalis
Trigger.
will survive for 1 more turn.
And Chrono Trigger is stripping away even more options.
Nightmare
I'm not quite
Star,
seeing what they are.
Chrysalis, Changeling Mimic, or Changeling, not Mimics, Changeling Infiltrators, and I was not able to catch what that last card was. It looks like an event.
Yep.
Or maybe a purple friend. I'm not able to tell what that last card is there, sadly.
So
So 4 cards gone for that Starlight.
I'm curious if Matt maybe wanna. He's just gonna keep the pressure there, and yep, he's just passing his turn. So the 1 AT with orange, you can stop almost anything.
Yep. Bail out,
Funny
Popping
enough.
Corn. He's got options.
Yep.
We are seeing a food fight in Joshua's hand. He's able to play that for 1 cost with that Rainbow Shine on the board. So he may go to blow up that Smooze to stop this challenge. Exhaust a draw, see what he gets. Okay, maybe we won't see what he gets. Pinky the Party Planner.
Yep.
Opens up a
That's
lot of
pretty good.
options.
I think he's gonna play it on
Exhausting.
the schmooze. Yeah.
Throw that Party Planner, blow up that Smooze.
Yep. Unfortunately, Matt has not got any of his Appaloozas, or he hasn't been able to play it just because he had other pressing matters. I think that's actually the answer. I think I maybe see that. Not sure. I was also wrong about the trading traditions, I guess, or not the the scrapbook. I thought this deck ran scrapbook, but I don't believe it does.
We're seeing a Clipped Wings go out, Queen Chrysalis, and once again did not catch the other 2.
Queen Chrysalis. He doesn't want to see that. He wants to be able to copy that DJ. So yeah, he might just want to, if he can defend Chrono Trigger long enough, I guess.
That might go off.
And also, what's funny is all the hunters play his abilities trigger at once, and he gets to choose. So he could just be like, okay, farm form air, and also I'll copy this farm form air.
That's true.
So that's kind of funny.
That is very true.
We might potentially see that. I think Matt's probably considering that Lasso Champion now. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to play this big card that you can destroy with 0 cost. That's always kind of debilitating.
Yeah, you're always
It's
a
like,
little saddened by that. Might as well, I think, drop it over at that Chrysalis.
He wants to see the options.
1 Party Planner gone, 1 Epiphany gone,
I believe so.
and again, 1 Breakdown on the board, alongside 1 Mare that are frightened at that Starlight.
Let's see here. So, I think maybe that Lasso Champion. Do you have other options? Does he have a Popping Corn? I'm not seeing one. Popping Corn would buy him another turn. He's still thinking on his moves. There's the Lasso
He's gonna
Champion.
do it. Yeah,
he's
gonna drop this Lasso Champion. I believe he's going to.
Yeah, keep. I think he's gonna keep Ursa Vanquisher exhausted just to make it more difficult to food fight.
We're gonna get that food fight right away.
So it's gonna ready. So that Ursa Vanquisher is going to be able to ready now.
Once it does, you'll be able to confront that problem with that dilemma with that DJ.
Yeah, even with just
Replace
DJ.
either one of those problems. Either get rid of that Starlight, keep all those cards banished.
I-
Probably his best option.
Yeah, I think the Starlight is definitely what he wants to get.
Additionally, it could bring out a Fire When Ready, which would allow him to get rid of that other Troublemaker, or a Blackmail, which would put a lot of pressure on Matt to continue confronting.
Yep.
You see Crystal Shining Armor come out. Big old power friend. Allowing him to confront that Jest unless Matt has an option. Popping Corn is not an option against either of these. Popping Corn only hitting friends with 3 or less power.
And Matt is also out of AT.
That too, yeah.
So.
Well, and also if he played it, he'd be cheating. But, ignoring that part,
Yeah.
the card wouldn't work anyway,
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to replace that Starlight. All those cards remaining banished.
Yep.
See what problem comes out. We're seeing
Fire
Fire
when
When
ready.
Ready.
Scary.
If a friend moves there or enters play there, it replaces all of those problems.
I think Matt has to move a thing over. He might need to move
You might
that
need
thing
to do
over,
that.
just to get rid of the Jester. It might be worth the cost. It's
Yeah, he's saying you pay 2, move whatever over there, doesn't matter.
I think I
replaces
heard him
everything.
say, it's like, that's not even a question. I have to do this.
Yeah.
So, again, increasing his opportunity to get blackmail. He doesn't get it.
Doesn't get it this time. We're seeing Secret to Every Pony. Joshua able to reduce the cost of friends at his own problem. And
Is that a jailbreak up top? I'm not able to tell.
That's
Oh,
Seeking
that
the
is
Scepter.
Seeking the Scepter cannot be confronted with mains.
Yep. Not
So-
too relevant in this game.
Yeah,
DJ just sits at home most of the time.
worth remembering, but neither of these players rely on confronting with their mains particularly hard.
All right,
Seeing
Rainbow
Twinkle
Shine, or
come
Twinkle
out.
Shine. Yeah.
Rainbow Shine, Twinkle Shine, Sprinkle Shine.
There's so many
Dinkle
shining, glaring.
Shining armor.
What's that?
Why
what's
is this
that
such a
word?
shiny deck? More like Joshua Shine.
Is it
Got 'em.
what's the technical term in is it astronomy or astrology? The science one.
astronomy.
The astronomy.
Yes.
Okay. So in astronomy there's I think brightness and then there's a luminescence or something. Where's the
Luminescence.
Yeah, luminescence. Where's star luminescence? Where's the
Star very bright.
Yeah.
Star bright.
Well, I think brightness is measured. A luminescence measures some different quality of light than
It's like the intensity of it
Yeah.
as opposed to one is
opposed to-
human centric.
yeah,
brightness.
brightness. is
Seeing that
human-centric.
shining armor up top, that'll be able to confront that Seeking the Scepter on its own. We're looking through the grave. I'm not sure if that's for a play or anything at the moment.
I
or
think
if
it's
we're just-
more for just information.
just seeing what's in there.
He's just like, what do you got? What's left? What do I have to deal with? Yeah, I mean,
Really a
that's-
fan of both of these decks, though. I gotta say,
Yeah.
these are both pretty fantastic. Really,
Oh,
really
there we
genuine.
are. Hey, he could
really-
copy the DJ that's here,
That is true.
and he could start destroying stuff.
Looks like he's gonna
Or-
copy that shining armor, possibly.
I guess. Interesting play. I think it might be rash.
Maybe
Maybe.
a little.
Yeah, maybe a little
Trying to hope
rash.
to stay ahead on points.
Yeah.
Joshua having scored last turn, also.
As we know, staying ahead is not always the important thing. Oh, food fight.
Gonna eat
I mean,
that.
it would. I guess
More options
regardless.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that Chrysalis was the most important card at the moment. So if that is the card that these food fights are going to be wasted on, I think that is okay for Matt.
Yeah, maybe. And also, then again, and
Fly
also,
comes out.
regardless of what Matt could have copied, it would have just gone away if it was a problem.
That study session finally coming out.
Yep.
Matt has that breezy flower in hand still, I believe.
Also, we're breaking a big taboo by eating chips on
that is true.
while talking in a microphone. But
What's a
I've
chip?
been
We
doing
ain't
it.
got no chips.
We don't got chips here.
That ain't real.
We're professional.
I do believe that breezy flower is still in hand on Matt's side, though.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay, so that
Yep.
study session will probably go down pretty immediately. Joshua not having any options to hit Matt's hand other than yellow parasprites, which would be heavily broadcast by coming out face down first, unless he twinkle
Did
shines
Joshua
it in.
score again? I believe he did.
Yes, just
Yeah.
now. Put Joshua up at 3. Matt losing his lead a little bit here.
Yep. Let's see. Also, I think Bugle will be very happy if Joshua wins because Bugle thinks that Matt's deck is probably the biggest threat to his. And
very
I would agree that it's also a big threat to Cruel Mistress. But who knows?
That hand attack is scary.
Yeah, the hand attack, the Starlight Glimmers, a lot of control decks are event based, so you're just losing your.
You lose one of
your-
those key events, it's just, well, there goes that.
Yeah, it's just like, well, I guess I just die.
Guess I'll die.
I don't have that one event I keep using over and over again to try and beat you.
Matt checking that grave, realizing that those breakdowns are gone, realizing one of his study sessions is gone.
Man, who's talking about this time loop needs to be banned when
When there's a study session.
when there's orange?
When there's orange at all.
When there's orange at all. When you can just orange your way to victory. Orange don't need anyone else.
Orange don't need no man.
You know what? If the main 6, if they were all put in a scenario where the rest of them, disappeared or whatever, I think AJ might be the one that's the most okay.
She's pretty fine. Everybody's like, oh no, my friends. And AJ's like, well, back to the farm.
It's like I'm
Apples.
Real. Yeah. Well,
I've
okay.
still
she
got all
would
my
cry.
real friends.
I still
Picks
have
up a
all my
barrel
real,
of apples.
all my real apples.
I've still got all my real apples.
He doesn't think of them in terms of friends.
They're not the elements of apple.
All right, digging.
All right, got some
All
draws.
right,
We're
where-
7 AT on Matt's side at the moment.
Matt, play flower. No harm.
No harm. No, stop it. Study session. Stop it. Get help.
Oh,
Captain Jack.
The good old the
everybody.
captain.
Kaboom. So
So
either Joshua is out of his purple, or he is out of his last breakdown.
Yep, a little bit of a rush
Losing the
situation.
breakdown.
Rough.
Probably has an epiphany in hand, I guess.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to be afraid of anything affecting that epiphany because those mimics are gone.
I really like the mind game that Rainbow Shine does grand. I think I maybe have...
Just the ability to exhaust it, and it's just like, am I going to play an event?
Is there a threat? Who knows?
Who knows?
I think also Joshua might have just remembered I should have exhausted this at the end of my turn. Or at the start of his turn.
At the start of his turn,
that's
just in
what I
case
meant.
something happens to it, you get that.
You have it anyways. It's a floating thing.
Yep.
All right, and
we're
now
seeing that. We do see that.
now I'm gonna be really sad if Matt
Epiphany.
plays that breezy flower, because then that means he should have just played the breezy flower first. So I'm wondering what he was thinking.
Is there a reason for that?
Holding the breezy flower? I can't think of it.
Or
Well, because
was there
Captain
another-
Jack wouldn't be exhausted and vulnerable to a recurred.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I know. I forgot that she is exhausted. I do believe there is an epiphany in Josh's hand. That is his main friend recursion. I think it's his only friend recursion, so that will allow him to get a breakdown back and attack that Captain Jack, I think.
Yeah, just get rid of it. I guess Matt. Yeah, okay. As long as he didn't play the breezy flower, I understand the play. There isn't a clear misplay there. Oh, he's hesitant. He's like, I wanna get rid of your deck. I'm orange.
Dropping the breezy flower on the board. Totally
Alright.
fine.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess he really, really wanted to play that Troublemaker, and that's understandable. I think that was a Nightmare Star.
I think it might have been a Nightmare Moon.
Oh, well, then that's also fantastic, because he knows he has stripped away a lot of Josh's options.
Either one is not bad in this case.
Yeah.
Nightmare Star keeping that breakdown from going off.
All right.
Nightmare
Rainbow
Moon
Shine.
attacking that
That's
hand.
going to reduce the cost of Epiphany
We're gonna
anyways.
drop. Yeah, we're gonna.
He pays
drop both
he
of those.
pays one, so basically he's paying nothing for something.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Interesting. I'm so mad at
Dropping
my-
all of these cards just in case it's a Nightmare Moon.
Yeah.
It's not the worst.
I think.
He-
Oh well, then he might be like I can't just recur. Oh, well, he might be able
I
to.
think
still
he's
do
got
it.
one
Yeah.
Epiphany not in hand.
Yes. All right.
Oh,
then-
he is dropping it.
All right.
Getting
So
that
then he's
AC
getting that
back,
bit.
reducing the cost.
Get the beat down. Play it for free.
I do think he should have put that. I do think Matt should have put that Troublemaker
Paper
at the other problem there.
Paper twy. Okay. I guess he's not afraid. I guess he's.
Interesting.
I would.
Okay.
I guess he's just. I guess his concern isn't to get rid of the Captain Jack. I guess he's willing to have Matt or let Matt have that.
5 power friend, nothing to scoff at.
Or he has something that'll just kill it really soon.
Very possible.
I keep forgetting again.
There are
I'm
other
like,
artists-
yeah, there's other destruction in this deck,
Those are limited and immediate though. I think he wants his consistent stuff while he has it.
especially with that study session.
Mapcake's getting discarded, I think.
Oh no, he's playing it to
playing
get
it
rid of the breezy
To get
flower.
rid of the flower.
It's really sad. It's really rough. And he's putting his own Rainbow Shine on top of his deck. He's like, well, if you have a valid target, you got to pick one.
Yep.
And that's actually kind of smart too, because he's able to. Yep. So now he's drawing it.
Not
So the
bad
things
at all.
that
Barrel gone.
He got a
complex
barrel
Cure.
and an Ursa Vanquisher and a Jester.
That last just cloning around
That
is
is
gone. That's
painful.
really good.
Yeah, man.
Losing in AJ's Epiphany, one of his little resource destruction left. So he has only got one card, I believe, left to get rid of
He drew
these
a
study
Captain
sessions.
Jack.
Drew a Captain Jack.
Yep.
Not bad.
That's
Not
very
bad.
good. He's able to put pressure. He could apply pressure again. I think. I guess just going for the score. Okay.
Alrighty.
I guess he figures he may not need to play that Captain Jack anytime soon.
There is that chance that it will get Nightmare Moon though, so he does need to be a little careful with it.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that confront was the right call, because again, time isn't the issue here.
Yeah.
But he did strike
We're hitting
a lot of really strong stuff. Even that
Magicite.
Magicite.
Something that messed with him a little bit last game.
Yep, and we're gonna probably see that party planner that he just drew. Or party was it party planner?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna probably see that. And we're probably gonna see a rainbow shine. There it is. So, yeah. Well, he couldn't have played the Captain Jack before. And I'm really questioning that move when it comes to the confront now.
Confront?
The more I think about it.
I don't think it was the worst. Matt may be able to shove all of Joshua's stuff home. If Fire When Ready does come out, that could replace his Troublemaker, unfortunately for him. However, either Joshua has to confront on his turn. If either Joshua gains 2 AT from prepared from not doing a face-off, if he's able to, or Matt continues to confront because Joshua has to willingly walk into a face-off that he'd likely lose. So Matt won't lose points, he won't lose ground, or Joshua will dodge the face-off by not confronting, in which case Matt still comes out ahead. Seeing that Epiphany come out, see that last breakdown, I believe that was the last Epiphany. Party Planner, destroy that Captain Jack. There it is.
Okay. And does he confront? Yep, he does confront. So
Yep.
he has a 4. And yeah, again, yeah, Matt must have been hoping that he didn't get any of his other destruction. Now Matt is in that the same situation he has been for a while, and that is well, he has his other Appaloosa, he has a Captain Jack in his hand. Spend ones to draw. Okay, so he's digging.
We're digging to draw. I think he might be wanting to protect something in his hand from
That's
that Nightmare
another
Moon.
option. Yeah, he might want to just keep 1 AT and just build up his hand so his Captain Jack doesn't go,
Yeah.
and then he's gonna play it, because that would definitely do enough.
Spending
damage.
all of his AT but 1 on his next turn, he'll gain 4, be up at 5, be able to drop that Captain Jack. His hand is as large as possible right now, which will greatly reduce the chances that that Captain Jack is the card hit by that Nightmare Moon. If that happens again like it did last game, though, that could be very, very game-defining.
You know, it's something I didn't consider, and perhaps it doesn't give Josh enough credit. It's also possible that he was moving certain cards into the bottom of his deck in case he was thinking, okay, I do need these for later.
For later,
in
I'm going to
case
save them
Nightmare
for
Moon.
now.
Just something.
Yeah, I'm fine on the board right now. I need this later, so heck, I'll take a
put it on the
barrel
bottom.
if I draw a barrel, maybe.
Yeah, that's an option too with Meticulous, is you can actually just,
Feed yourself your crappier cards that you don't need right away.
Yeah.
Joshua confronting up to 6. I forgot to give him a point last turn, I believe. I believe he's at 6.
All right, so Matt is really
yes.
hoping that Captain Jack doesn't go away, because if he gets to play it, then he is in another really nice state.
11.1% chance here that happens. We'll see.
Okay.
Limestone,
That's
not
Limestone.
not
That-
the
that's
best
still
loss,
rough,
but it's not
but
Captain
it's
Jack,
not
and
Captain
that's all
Jack,
he
so
cares
that's-
about right
yeah.
now.
He's like, okay, now it's Captain Jack time. We're throwing out the sailor again. Did he pass?
He may have. Thought he had the AT too.
He has 5. I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm I'm at a bit of a loss there too.
I'm almost never willing to take a gambit if it's such a devastating one to me.
He might be wanting to Captain Jack and Clipped Wings or something on the same turn, something along those lines.
Yeah, that makes sense. He might need to. He might be willing.
He
to
might
take
be taking the risk to make a perfect play as opposed to
a powerful.
powerful play.
Yeah.
Because
And that might
again,
be the
Joshua
right
might
call.
be able to fight his way back out of a Captain Jack, but if he gets what he wants this turn, if he doesn't lose his key cards, he might be able to put Joshua in a near impossible position. Because again, Joshua is starting to get to that point where he's running low on resources. He lost a lot real early. Let's see here.
It's the Appaloosa. He
Appaloosa,
doesn't
again, not a fantastic
necessarily-
loss,
yeah.
but I don't believe it
So,
was.
yeah, we're seeing the Captain Jack. There it is.
It's going to come out, blow up that board.
And Joshua has a difficult decision to make. He is keeping that, and then
He's keeping the DJ because I think that is his last one. He's got.
I think he has
Yellow
one
Pair
more
Sprites in hand.
Epiphany.
He might have one more Epiphany. I'm not sure how many of those are gone.
All right. So now we're going to see the. He has a means of turning DJ off or something.
Yeah, the Appaloosa would have worked to keep the Captain Jack alive.
as would the limestone have, or additionally, a bailout. A bailout would do it as well. Bailout, or lasso champion, or there are many options to turn this breakdown off, if he has one.
And again,
he's got 3 to 4
Joshua
AT
is
to do
looking
it.
at this similar.
There it is, and there's a second Appaloosa. That Captain Jack is safe from that breakdown for now.
Yeah, I didn't notice the second Appaloosa. Brilliant play by Matt. Definitely.
Things worked out for him, yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been tragic.
Understanding what's in his hand a little bit more, totally worth the gambit. Because it's not just I can turn off the DJ. It's I can make it to where his destruction isn't a thing.
I think he realized how slim the chances were of that Captain Jack being the card that was
Also,
sent.
he was looking through his discard pile. I bet that Matt's like, okay, do you have any more resource removal?
I think all of those Mares are gone. I do believe all of Joshua's resource destruction is gone.
That's the last card of his deck.
And that is the last card. Matt will be able to farm for free for the rest of this game. Joshua has only his hand to work with, and I think no friends?
I think this is game then.
I think Joshua has literally only his
He doesn't have a
hand
means
right now.
to confront.
I don't think he can confront. I think that Captain Jack was game.
Is there a Changeling Infiltrator in Joshua's deck that I might have?
Not in Joshua's.
Not Joshua's. Just in Matt's. Okay.
Yes.
I would have. Yeah. The fact that he didn't throw in 2 juggling routines or 2 infiltrators
It's very
is
strange to me. We're
definitely
seeing another study
hurting
session
him.
come out.
Yeah. He's duplicating his thing to destroy the that doesn't serve a purpose really. He can't destroy the Captain Jack.
No. He has a friend, though, at least. I think he's going to try to fight it out anyway, I guess.
Yeah, that's the best he can do. But now Matt knows. Well, all I need to do is. All right, yeah. It's just like, well, okay, I forgot, but I have this, so. Yeah, just keep it on the board. It doesn't. Yeah. No, you're right, Josh.
What is the rec on Dip in the Pool? Is it 3 or 4?
It's 4.
He was not able to play that Dip in the Pool even.
He has a beatdown.
Oh, the beatdown is over. Okay,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
breakdowns or
He's
the
good.
breakdowns over there. I
Breakdown.
keep forgetting. I'm sorry. Okay, so still able to
No
confront.
hand. All right, both players have no decks again.
Alrighty, this is a game again. Joshua did confront. Yes.
Yep.
Alrighty.
So now Matt just needs to build his board state. That is it.
Did we see what Joshua had in hand? It was
Carbo loader. That hurts.
that hurts a bit at this point.
He's got to
Got a
play the
four
farm
mare.
mare. Yeah.
Yep.
Or yeah, and then
That
he has
four
his
mare's,
last captain.
unfortunately for
there's
him-
another carbo loader. He's
Okay,
fine.
so yeah, he's
totally
just fine.
He's one, basically. Well, I mean, carbo loader doesn't do anything, but it's cool.
Another friend.
Yep. Got a
That
friend
is safe
in me.
because of the Appaloosa. From that final food fight that is in Joshua's hand.
He has a snooze. Yeah, another one. I think does he run 3? He might.
If Joshua doesn't have the doesn't have the AT to cast that food
Confront.
fight now,
Yeah.
then it is over.
Yeah.
So that food fight has a very limited window to hit that smooze.
Yep.
Um,
I mean, his opponent. I think
that
Matt will be-
breakdown can kill that smooze at the moment, unless Matt immediates before that breakdown is able to exhaust.
Yes.
He has to do it
So
right
he
now
has to
during
do
the
it-
troublemaker
yeah.
phase, or else there is an opportunity.
Yeah, but also Joshua has a.
The food fight.
Yeah.
So as soon as he boosts it by 1, it will be at 3 power, which is high enough for food fight to kill that smooze,
low enough for
but low
Appaloosa.
enough for Appaloosa to not protect it.
So they do a face off. Yeah, it's game. All right, so Matt won this one. Whew.
We're looking at game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Joshua
Wow.
versus Matt.
These are great games.
Yeah, these are phenomenal.
These are really good.
The
Matt-
plays, the calls, the builds. That was an insane start for Matt.
Definitely.
Just destroyed Joshua's soul
almost every
hand.
yeah,
his
just
hand
like
soul.
it's like I like this hand. Get rid of it.
This
Okay,
hand is phenomenal.
Draw the rest.
Oh god, it's gone. That hand was my deck, and it is gone now.
Still pretty well fought on Joshua's part. Like,
Yep.
he kept it as a game the whole time. It wasn't until that final Captain Jack, and until that was on the board, there was a chance that could not have gone in Joshua's favor still. If that Appaloosa or that Captain Jack had gone down because that Nightmare Moon, I think that would have been Joshua's game. Low chances of either of those happening, but very possible still.
Yeah. Also, he only had 7 power,
True.
so he could not beat the Nightmare Moon.
That is also true.
But Matt could confront a blackmail.
That is, he would have been able to do that.
Yeah, strange. This is strange.
Look at that smooth. He could have
Understanding.
boosted that up.
Well, if he boosted it up to 3, then he could have died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Or something. I think it was just like, I can't kill the Nightmare Moon, and that's the big thing.
I think in a situation like this where the entire opponent's deck is, or the opponent's entire deck is gone minus their hand, I think I would actually be okay with asking, your deck list is sitting there, I know what's in it, I can math out what's in your hand, so that you don't have to wait for me to do that, and I don't have to do it. Can you just show me your hand?
Yeah. Just
'Cause
to speed things along.
The
I think that's
information
totally
is
appropriate.
certain at that point.
Yeah, it is.
It's just, do you want to waste our time and hope that I mess it up and don't realize you have something? Or you just want to show me your hand? I think I would literally be okay with asking that in that situation.
Yeah.
We've got a couple extra people, and that number's been flickering a little bit. So for those of us just joining us, we just finished Game 2 of Round 1 of the 2017 North American Continental Championships, hosted by Pack Breakers, and streamed to you by the Commentaries Magic crew. I'm Furry Flurry.
And I'm Critical Thought with yogurt in his mouth.
With yogurt in his mouth, ladies and gentlemen.
That's his
we
secret
are
last name.
we are 1-1 currently, so we are going to Game 3 here. Joshua running a DJ Purple control build, very Vinyl's Bag of Tricks-ish. It's not
Esque.
identical. Esque-ish. Very close, not identical. Matt Withrick with a mono orange Luna thing.
Okay.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's basically what we kind of wanted to
I
do
think
with
that's
a lot
true.
of those tools.
But
It's way
better.
It's way better.
a
than
lot lot
what
better
we
than
were
what we
thinking.
came up with way back when.
We also we just kind of think mono orange and then it's just farm. That's it.
That's it.
But
All
it's
I can
wrong.
do is
But
farm.
that's wrong.
That's so wrong,
It's
though.
so wrong. And that's the weird thing, right? When you get in a meta mindset or whatever,
It's
you
hard
tend to
to-
next the potential.
It's
of
hard
other
to
things.
innovate when you think things are solved.
Yeah, it's it's that one thing.
Yes.
Full summit.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
You tend to sometimes find a false summit.
So we got Infiltrating the Hive, which we haven't seen triggered at all yet. A good option for that Luna main, though, because it allows him to discard on the fly if he doesn't get something else that allows him to do that. That Trading Traditions, giving Joshua purple right off the bat.
I am kind of
Did he opt to flip right away? Have they
Yeah.
actually started?
What?
Joshua opting to flip right away,
happening?
even though Matt may have opened with a Nightmare Moon and gotten him a free flip. So that's kind of interesting. Matt doesn't have any options to keep Joshua from flipping. And Joshua knows that, so I think that was a little interesting. Not bad.
Yeah, no, not bad at all.
Oh, he has the paper.
he has
paper
turn
twine
two.
in
Yeah.
hand. Okay, that was his turn too.
Yeah.
We did that last game too, I think.
Yep.
So that was his turn too. So opting to flip to get that paper twine out
Setting
to
a
get that
thing.
extra AT.
It's
so
really
worthwhile.
interesting to see that the Chrysalis, the Revengeance. Is it Revengeance or is it Vengeance? I forget.
Vengeance.
Revengeance.
Or which card? Which
the Chrysalis, the one that I got the spoil.
Oh.
Happy to see it at Continentals for silly reasons.
The epic one. I don't recall her subtitle.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it is
not wrong.
Revengeance.
That's funny.
Well, I'm gonna look it up now.
Okay. Because Revengeance is that's a Metal Gear
Yeah,
game.
that's a funny word.
Revengeful. Okay, so we got troublemakers on the board from each player.
Yeah.
With Rick with 3 AT still, Josh with none, but Well, no, he should have his
Yellow
one that I might just
Parasprite.
not
So
be
not
sending.
quite the right call when it came to Matt. You know, he probably because that's an epic. I mean, maybe it's a Mimics. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. I don't know. It's a guess.
Matt being a little afraid to drop a Troublemaker on top of Joshua's problem, on the chance that Joshua's Troublemaker was a Chrysalis epic instead of that Yellow Parasprites.
Okay, so it's Vicious Vengeance.
Vicious
Never mind.
Vengeance, okay.
It's a VV.
I don't think
Chrono
dropping...
Trigger. That's and a study. So study session turn 2. I'm a
Yeah,
little
this
out of
is
date.
It's a little rough of a position for Matt to be in already.
Yep.
Even though there's no breakdown on the board, which is what really makes Study Session a threat, this does slow him down. His exhaust abilities won't be able to come out right away. He won't be able to confront the turn he drops things. That Study Session buying Joshua a lot of breathing room, unless Matt is able to get rid of it. And up until now...
Okay, so he has 2 beatdowns. He wants
One
to.
in each
He wants
pile.
to keep.
I think that top pile is probably the right choice.
Yeah, I think it's.
Matt agrees.
I would almost not even put the shining armor in there. I'd almost just be like, okay, you want me to have.
I think I'd go for the other one in that case. I think there's just
Really? There's
too
just
many
too much.
things.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So, Matt opting to get rid of the smaller pile because of the sheer strength of the cards in that one. Joshua making an okay call, though, in realizing that that pile was so much stronger. So even though he did not... he did lose those strong cards, he at least kept more cards in his other pile.
It's true.
So divided up pretty well, I think.
Okay.
We got a Nightmare Star, having revealed up top, that will keep Joshua from being able to exhaust Breakdown if that comes out. So even if Matt's friends enter exhausted, that Breakdown will not be able to exhaust to kill them. That Paper Twi will not be able to generate action tokens for Joshua at the moment either.
And we got Clip Wings, Appaloosa. Wow, what a very rich hand.
That is the orangest hand I think I've ever seen.
Joshua, I
orangest
think, is
pile.
just kind of like, wow.
Not happy to see that Appaloosa come out
Not
yet.
thrilled.
Appaloosa being a pretty good counter in this card or in this deck for Study Session Breakdown.
It's funny that like that is literally like, okay, do I want this to be in my hand at the end?
That is true. Do I want this card? You might die if I have it. So yeah, I guess I'll just leave it in. I'll just throw it back in the deck. It's better to have it than to use it, right? Can't have your card and play it too.
Not with this kind of deck.
That's true. So we've got our Farm Former on the board there. Stubborn, not doing a whole lot. It is at 3 power right now, which will not allow it to be protected by Appaloosa once that comes out.
He's like, okay, go away.
He wants to get rid of it though.
From there.
So he wants to get rid of it before it's able to be protected in some form, if at all. Again, Appaloosa doesn't protect it, but he knows he won't be able to kill it with Breakdown. Opting to drop another Paper Twi, which I think is a little
And
strange.
not exhausted?
Nightmare Star up top.
Oh, the
keeps him
dirt.
from
Man, I
exhausting
guess
both of those.
I'm a little off right now.
Dropping the Paper Twi, the problem, a little strange because it's not paying him back right away. But at the same time, at the very least,
Ooh, strikes Nightmare Moon.
strike
Nice.
Nightmare Moon. That hurts for Matt a bit. If Matt does choose to try to challenge that Yellow Parasprite at some point, there is prepared on that Paper Twi, so he will get a little bit of that cost that he just spent back.
Yeah, and freaking. I still can't tell. I can't tell if this board stated if who's winning and who's not. It looks like he is paying 3 AT for something.
Opting to drop that Appaloosa right away, even though it's not protecting anything.
Yep.
So that will leave it... Well, it would normally leave it a little bit vulnerable to Joshua's Mares, which are his resource destruction. However, that Mare cannot exhaust to destroy resources at the moment because of that Nightmare Star up top. It's possible that we might see him drop a Mare and try to play an event to destroy it, only to realize that that Nightmare Star is there.
It's true, and it looks like
Twinkle-Shine coming out.
Twinkle-Shine's he's going to overlap the Nightmare Star.
Does she not have to put a Troublemaker where she is?
I don't believe so. Oh, never mind, I guess. He did put the Revengeance... He meticulous the Revengeance on the bottom, I suppose. Because I saw him look at a Revengeance.
Okay.
I keep calling it a Revengeance. It's
Revenge-
Vicious Vengeance.
Vicious Vengeance.
Oh, he hits a Captain Jack. Man, he's getting some...
At this card's
getting
problem,
some
yeah, that
extra-
Twinkle Shine can only drop in Troublemakers at the problem.
Man,
Um,
Twinkle Shine. Come on now.
but he did apparently choose to meticulous away that vicious vengeance,
Yeah.
so he was not able to replace that Nightmare Star.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a misplay or not.
I don't think Joshua has the best chance of being able to kill that Nightmare Star very easily anytime
Yeah,
soon,
so
especially with the
probably-
paper twice on the board and such. So just choosing to ignore it for now and to try to deal, maybe start confronting on the backside of this, trading traditions here.
Alright, so
Matt moving up his main to try to fight this yellow pair sprites possibly has a decent chance to be able to do that. Joshua, having a lot of events, has some decent flips, but also has some very low-powered friends. Matt, being orange, has pretty enormous flips, but still slightly disadvantaged in that face-off there.
Yep. And looks like
Moving up our DJ to confront,
we're seeing the classic
seeing
board state
Popping
here,
Corn
an
come
epic
out
and a troublemaker, and just
to
confronting.
deny that confront.
And yep. And we are seeing the classic board state of just an epic and a troublemaker.
An epic and a
just-
troublemaker and just hiding behind the troublemaker.
Yeah.
Mhm. Pretty vulnerable position there to a villain if one were to come out from Matt's side. Another Nightmare Moon gone from that yellow Parasprite. That really hurts Matt.
Yeah.
That's two gone.
That's hitting
Only
a lot of
one
his-
left.
It's hitting his goals, and there's a.
He did farm.
Okay, he's
Very
immediately
interesting.
getting rid of it. That was actually a smart play. So he did keep the Revengeance. He was sticking. He was just dealing with the Nightmare Star. He wanted that option, I guess. I'm not
Replaces that yellow Parasprite. Denies Matt that point.
However, now, actually no, he's in a decent spot.
Matt did win that face-off, by the way.
Yeah,
But there was no reward because the reward was gone, because the reward is on that yellow Parasprite, which
is not
popped
there.
as soon as that villain came out.
Oh wow, and he has two gestures, and he knows that two Nightmare Moons are not in Matt's. Matt can't.
Yeah, this is
use them.
looking kind of grim for Matt at the moment. No score so far. Neither player able to confront at the moment. Matt having very little on the board. Joshua having very many options in his deck still. Study session out. 2 paper twice for the meticulous, even if he doesn't get the AT off of them right now because of that Nightmare Star.
So actually,
Matt
long
is
game,
still looking at that Appaloosa, though, which will protect his friends from many kinds of destruction.
okay, interesting.
Matt-
I guess he wants to meticulous. Also,
He
you
is
can't do
not
that,
able
man.
to exhaust that Chrysalis at the moment
But
for
it's
that action token.
Matt's combo crew, isn't he?
Matt's
Combo
cheating.
crew cheating.
All right, so Matt not able to exhaust his Chrysalis that he used to copy that Twilight because of the Nightmare Star. He does have Meticulous at the very least, however.
Is Matt also the? I think Matt's the same gentleman who kept his Queen Chrysalis on the board.
I think that's true. Kept a Chrysalis on the board accidentally after
Jack.
Captain Jack yesterday.
Facing the same thing?
Oh
wait, no, that was that was a big cheese.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
Was it?
Same deck,
Actually, no, I'm
different
not
pilot,
sure.
I think.
No, it's
Or
Matt.
No, it was Matt. I think you're right.
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
Matt's still a cheater.
We didn't cheat. They pointed it out.
Yeah. He attempted.
We're seeing an exhaust there somehow.
Um,
Oh, it entered exhausted because of the study session.
So not only could he not have done it in the first place, but he can't do it right now anyway.
He can't do it twice.
Yeah.
We're seeing Just Climbing Around come out. He will be able to replace one of these problems if he confronts it, and he will with that Shining Armor. Will be able to replace the problem with that Nightmare Star.
That bailout. All right.
Bail out to exhaust that. He's going to keep that Just Climbing Around from being confronted. Keep that Nightmare
Ooh,
Star on
has
the board for a
has to
couple turns
discard
longer.
that Epiphany. I don't
And
Does
that
he
was the
have
last of his
to?
resource destruction, I think.
really. No, does he not have a breezy? Did he have to get rid of his breezy flower at some point?
Wasn't that destroyed earlier on, or was that last game?
Yeah, it's becoming a blur now. These
a
games
little
are so nobody has what they need.
No, I think that was last game. That was the last
Okay,
game that
yeah.
happened, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so he has one thing, but Joshua has 3 study sessions. So
Pretty rough.
as far as the tools to counter the tools to fight the tools, the tools are not looking too tool time movie.
Tool time movie. Tool the Tim Time Taylorman.
Yeah,
That's
my favorite NES game.
Oh god, there was
it's
a
SNES.
SNES. Oh, sorry, SNES game.
Yeah.
Don't want to misrepresent that fantastic Work of art. Let's see. Okay, so we got
so we're seeing a
Shining Armor becoming a little less exhausted. He was real tuckered out a minute ago. Now he's only kind of tired. He's just like, I still don't want to confront this.
He has the baby.
He's got he has a baby to deal with at home.
Yeah.
Another one coming out. We're gonna confront that just clowning around. Probably gonna replace that Nightmare Star.
Yeah.
Start gaining that AT off of those paper twice. Still able to exhaust that DJ because Nightmare Star only prevents friends from exhausting, not characters.
He's like, okay, I guess I'll play my
We're
other
playing
one.
the second
really
bailout to confront or to keep that just clowning around from
Carbo loader.
getting rid of a carbo loader, even though that carbo loader would have been safe.
What he's
with the
buying his
Appaloosa.
time for. I guess
maybe another Captain Jack is what he's hoping for. I guess.
Joshua has a point now.
Does he?
He confronted. Oh no, he
No,
didn't.
he bailouted just now, and the other one was bailouted from the last game, or from the last turn. Gaining AT. I don't know what Matt is trying to buy time for. I would have just let him have it. He couldn't get the AT this turn. It wouldn't have done much.
Yeah.
I think there were more critical moments that he could have saved those. I absolutely think there are more critical moments he could have saved those bailouts for. He's got his Appaloosa, which protects some of his friends. But that Appaloosa can go down if a breakdown comes out. His Chrysalises are vulnerable. His Farm Formares are vulnerable. His Smoozes are vulnerable. About half his friends are still vulnerable to destruction, even though that Appaloosa is out. And I would have, I think I would have saved those bailouts to stop more critical confronts.
Yep.
To stop farm attempts, to stop double face-offs that could happen.
Wait, no, you can Captain Jack.
If a Mare would have come out to try to destroy that Appaloosa, he could have stopped that by exhausting those on the fly. There's that Mare.
Mm-hmm.
I bet he really wishes he had those bailouts right now. Because next turn, or this turn even possibly, that Appaloosa is going down.
At the same time, just
all of
every
Matt's friends will be vulnerable.
Every time Joshua, it's just a really bad board state because every time Joshua is able to confront that Jester, the more he's able to do what he kind of wants.
Seeking the Scepter, not really going to affect this game a whole heck of a lot, I don't think. It could though, because at this point Matt's becoming really reliant on that main. That's the only card he's able to hold on to.
Yep.
I do not agree with those bailout plays.
So we'll have to see here.
I do think Joshua got a little antsy on dropping that Mare. He's probably not going to be able to farm that Chrysalis. Matt's flips are a little too strong, and Joshua's already at a little bit of a disadvantage if that face-off were to happen. And I don't think he has the AT to drop an event on the fly, so kind of leaving it a little vulnerable.
Perhaps he's just looking for the pressure. Also, I guess he's just like, Nightmare Star is the bigger problem, and if I can beat this Queen Chrysalis somehow, then great. And then I can keep flipping my starting problem.
That's true. He can just shove that Twilight Paper Twi home. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and the more he can confront, the more he can just
Matt digging for something.
Blackmail. Yeah.
I think Matt's at the point where he might need to just hold AT, and he might be in one of those positions where you need to just wait for one of those turns where you're like, okay, I've got 15 AT, I've got these 4 cards in hand that are really, really strong together. We're just going to play them all at once so there's nothing you can do about it. And just have to hope for not a food fight and not a, whatever else.
Yep.
Finally exhausting those to gain that AT. Actually, Joshua being up a point, having confronted that just clowning around in his last turn.
Getting rid of the Queen Chrysalis. It's just looking worse and worse for...
getting rid of both of those.
Getting rid of both. Man,
this
is really rough.
Those 2 Nightmare Moons are gone. Appaloosa's gone. Joshua gaining AT, being able to Meticulous. 2 Shining Armors, just clowning around on the board.
One Captain Jack gone.
1 Captain Jack off the board already.
So, Matt only has 2 resets. I don't think... Has Joshua had to recur? Joshua,
I don't think he's had to use any Epiphanies yet. Yeah. I don't believe. With only 1 Nightmare Moon being the only option to attack those Epiphanies, Joshua can kind of play as recklessly as he wants as long as he's got those in hand. Oh no, a Captain Jack, my board's gone. Well, 2 turns later, there it is. It's back. And your 1 friend is dead. There's that Captain Jack.
Yep. Take it.
Not the most impactful at this moment.
No.
Get rid of some Paper Twies, get rid of a Shining Armor. That Dilemma's still there.
The Trading Traditions is still there.
Trading Traditions is still there.
Yeah, so it's not
Shining
even...
Armors are still there.
Yeah.
Holding on to the Paper Toy, interesting. I would have continued to confront that just climbing around, I think.
I guess he might have another option already.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm sure he has a... If he doesn't have a beatdown, he's probably bound to get one pretty soon. Also, the Meticulous is nice. The AT is nice.
He might be
Well,
wanting
there-
to use that
he
Meticulous
can already
to
get
hope
the,
for the breakdown.
He can already get the beatdown.
Exhausting for that AT. We're probably going to exhaust that DJ to draw here momentarily.
Yep, he's weighing his options. Oh, he has a beatdown in hand.
Breakdown in hand.
Is it breakdown or beatdown?
Breakdown.
Breakdown.
DJ, breakdown. Yeah, like...
Should be called beatdown. She looks like she's about to dome someone with that.
Breakdown coming out. Kill that Captain Jack.
Getting
Getting
another
one of his
paper
paper
cut.
toys
Yeah,
back,
he's just
getting
like,
that
I
Meticulous.
want my advantage. I want to be able to recover when you blow my stuff up. I know you have one more Captain Jack.
I don't think I've ever seen a Captain Jack affect a game so little.
Yeah.
It came out, it's usually horrifying, and Josh was just like, well,
Okay.
that's annoying. And now he's right back where he was, pretty much. Not confronting Jess
got
this
his,
turn,
got
but
his breezy flash. Does he have two? You said he had one.
yeah, there's only one on the deck list. It might have been last game that it was discarded, so.
Okay.
So there's
Yeah.
one Epiphany gone, at least. There is that flower gone. Joshua likely having another study session in hand, I think we saw. There, it's right back there.
Yep.
Matt destroying that study session and not following up. He that was his only opportunity to drop friends without them being exhausted right away. So he just destroyed it because he got antsy. There's no Yellow Paris Sprite attacking his hand. There's no Nightmare Moon attacking his hand right now. He destroyed it just to get it off the board and didn't follow up at all. That was his only opportunity to get friends out safely.
Yeah, it's
and
looking
he-
like Matt is real flustered. He might be really flustered. I don't want
he
to
might
speak
be.
to
Yeah,
his
no.
condition without knowing, but it seems to me like Matt is probably a bit flustered.
Probably a
This
pretty
is
reckless play. He's got
definitely a really rough board state. It's not looking good at all.
Resource Destruction out, Breakdown out, 2 Meticulous, 2
You
extra
know he has
AT,
his
study
recursion.
session. There is, I believe, an Infiltrator in Matt's hand.
There's a duplicate. He's probably going to duplicate the beatdown, just because it's like I kill whatever you play now, and okay, have a clipped wings. That's okay.
Yeah, clipped wings, whatever.
Yep. And I think he's just gonna start cycling through his problem deck.
What
at
did
this
he?
point.
What did he copy with that?
Oh,
Tant Abuse.
Oh.
With that.
There you go.
Yeah. What did he copy with that Tant Abuse?
I believe.
When he used that deck just now, what card did he copy?
Yeah.
With that dip, what's that Tant?
I would assume it's beatdown,
Probably.
but I could be wrong. Maybe he wants more AT and more Meticulous to have the answers.
Mare is not a awful option either. Just in case.
And Matt does get to slow him down a bit. He's just like,
Get
nope,
that bailout.
not
Keep that confront from happening.
yeah, not confronting right now. I still wanna do something.
Joshua
really
probably
rough.
looking for a situation where he can replace his own problem to get rid of that villain. Hopefully get a
Epic.
to replace that epic.
See, I can
correct you,
too.
Hoping to replace that. Hoping for a blackmail to score these free points since he's got Matthew in such a hole right now, or even possibly fire when ready.
He's calling it.
He's calling it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
That was
game over.
incredibly rough.
I think
He got too strong too fast.
I agree with that.
He didn't, and Matt didn't hit hard enough early enough.
The 2 Nightmare Moons being gone was really rough.
And even
Captain
just the
Jack's
other
run
Captain Jack, I'm
impactful.
just like,
I think the flower was really inopportune. I really think the biggest thing were those bailouts.
Duke.
I really think that was the biggest thing. That he could control at least. Because again, like the Nightmare Moons, if that happens, that's rough. You got a deal, I guess. But those bailouts, you could have used those to save friends.
Yeah, definitely. I think I agree wholeheartedly there. I guess it's just, again,
So that was
very
Matt
rough.
calling it with 1 point scored for the game.
Yep. It happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just
I'm
know.
sorry, 2 points scored.
Yeah.
We got one right at the very end there.
It's important.
So Joshua moving on with his bag of tricks.